All right, cool. So you posted today that you're enjoying your retirement after being a carpenter, but you started a new chapter in your life helping people fix their credit. Tell us all about this new venture of yours.
Absolutely. It talk about blessings coming, and when you pray for certain things, blessings come, and they may be disguised as something you don't really recognize. Thus, credit restoration. I always knew it was important, but I was never taught financial literacy in school, as a lot of us weren't. This company here has been around since 2004. Word of mouth only. You'd never see a commercial advertising about them, but they're the real deal, brother. We have 12 outstanding services that are life-changing. And I always tell Raider Nation, I've got a special deal for you that I can offer you. Come on board, get your finances in order, leave a legacy for your kids and your kids' kids. Just change your life completely.
And you said that recruitment's been going well, right?
It's going well, brother. The nation has seen my posts, and they've seen it consistently, and they're reaching back.
All right, now, so on top of that, you have your signature V57 cigars for sale, as well as merchandise on motorsports.com. Talk about your V57 cigars and motorsports.com.
The V57s was the byproduct of someone I didn't even know, a cigar manufacturer, who watched me always post up on social media enjoying a nice cigar and a glass of bourbon or whatever, you know. But they posed to me this question: why are you posting somebody else's cigars when you should have your own? And I kind of ignored the whole gesture for about a week or so, never returned a call or a text, but they were persistent. And it was another blessing coming, and I was like, before I turned my back on it, something said, hear the guy out and talk to him. So after doing that, it's been about 2 years now, and, just selling them word of mouth. But they're, like I say, a private blend that's made for me to just raise my brand, so to speak. And like I said, it's been a blessing, Homer. That's my way of relaxing after a long day. And sometimes during game day, I just do it just as part of my ritual. But awesome cigars. So anybody that's into that, brothers and sisters, just hit me up at Violator57 on Twitter.
All right, cool. And then motorsports.com. I got to say, I bought the Just Do You Can't F That Up shirt. I love that shirt. It really touches the heart, So talk about motorsports.com.
Motorsports is my baby, so to speak. I'm an old Johnny Quest freak from when I was a kid. So I fell in love with Komodo dragons. So when I was competing in bodybuilding back in the 80s, I didn't want to wear what everybody else had. I wanted my own stuff. So being an artist, I said, you know what? I'm going to draw my own designs and put them on my sweatshirt or whatever it was. That's how it started. So Motorsports is that. It's sports apparel for the fitness enthusiasts, and the Just Do You type shirts or pick up face shirts are my positive messages that I feel are lacking in today's society. So I'm always reaching for Generation Next, in that respect, giving them something visual. And even people my age will see it and it speaks to them. And that's the kind of designs that I come up with. Stuff that makes you think, food for thought, so to speak, because there's enough foolishness out there being printed. Put something that's got some spiritual nature to it that will make you stop and hesitate for a second and take a look at your own self in the mirror.
Amen to that, man. That's cool, man. Yeah, because the branding age is here, right? Social media, YouTube, all that. So yeah, to put something with some spirituality, I guess, like you're saying, behind it, that's cool. Something that touches somebody's heart and resonates with them, and not just just something that you're selling. So that's a real cool idea.
Or something that's trending. These designs, I design them to surpass time, man. They will never have to change. They still mean the same thing years down the road.
Hello, Raider Nation. Welcome back to Monday Nights Live, the Black Hole Edition 2021. I'm Raider Homer, and I have another great lineup for tonight's show. Now, let's go over how Monday Nights Live works. It's structured like a football game, but instead of 4 quarters, we have 4 callers / time slots because sometimes we have multiple callers on the call as we do tonight. All right, we also break for the halftime show after the second time caller, and during the halftime show, we'll hear from viewers and Raider musicians. And this week, we're hearing Raider songs from, of course, Raiderhead and Namek. All right, now, of course, the songs we're going to hear from Raiderhead are the Raider Oath, which is performed by Raiderman, who is coming on the channel for the very first time here on tonight's show, the Black Hole Edition. So I'm looking forward to hearing from him. We're going to do the standard interview and keep continuing to world build. All right, now kicking off tonight's show, caller number 1, Black Hole Rob and Raiderman. Looking forward to hearing from both of these guys. All right, following those two, we're going to hear from Black Hole Unleashed, which is the official podcast of the Black Hole with JP Long and MP. So yeah, I appreciate y'all guys coming on here. And then after the second caller, the phone blitz kicks off the halftime show. And following the halftime show, Cisco Kid and Metal Cindy. Man, you know, Metal Cindy, I've been trying to get her on here for a while. She was supposed to come back on, or come on for the first time during the Oaktown Legends, but we had some technical issues. You know how we do it here on the Raider Homer channel. We always have some kind of technical issue, but we got her back on, courtesy of Cisco Kid. Looking forward to hearing from them. And then, closing out the show, we are going to hear from 10 years, actually he played for 13 years in the NFL, but 10 of those with the Raiders, long snapper John Condo. Now, John Condo came on the Only Nation podcast, so go check that podcast out. So thank you, T3, for hooking all that up and being cool with me bringing John on this show. So I appreciate that. Now, providing backup for tonight's show, if, and that's a big if she's awake, is Heidi Stabbert, a.k.a. Kevlar Prawn Bread, who is my wonderful co-host on the Only Nation podcast. So don't forget to listen to the Only Nation podcast with me and Heidi Stabbert, as well as T3 Raider Facts. The new episode is out today. All right, you can find the Only Nation podcast on all your favorite podcasting apps, so make sure you search for us. All right, be sure to subscribe to the Only Nation podcast YouTube channel, T3 Sports Guy YouTube channel, and go on over there to Captain Jack Rackham Levy's YouTube channel and give him a subscription. That dude's always doing good things for the Raider Nation. All right, be sure to go to theraiderhomerchannel.buzzsprout.com to find me on social media and to find upcoming podcasts on and wherever your music app you listen to. Whatever music app you listen to, you'll find me on there. All right, Blitzers, you know the number, 298-2407, all right? I didn't put that out today, but if you can call and leave that message, I'll play them. Let me know in the chat line. You can also leave your shout-outs in the chat line, whatever. We're going to read the chat line in between callers. All right, let me know if you would like to order a Border Chapters Pillaging Just for Fun patch for $10 to support the Raider Homer channel and the Austin Black Hole. All right, we also got some koozies. So, section 10, oh, look, I'm disappearing. The invisible Homer. Oh, here we go, technical difficulties. Of course, you all know where section 105 comes from. So you know how we get down. All right. Let's see. That's those patches are $10 and those koozies are $15. So give me a shout. You can message me on any of my social media accounts, and I'll get your order squared away. All right, cool. And this week's mailbag, it's really off-season mailbag. So you know we'll just go. Look, Amanda Black Widow, she brought this down this week for the second annual Texas Pit Crew fundraiser, where you got to meet Ira Matthews, Super Bowl champion Ira Matthews. So she brought this down and gave me this. Look, this is Derek Carr with that comeback face right there. For all you car haters out there, boom. All right, Amanda, I appreciate that. Look, check it out. This is a very special gift that I got from Raider Art, a letter from Raider Art. Raider Art, y'all have all seen him, on social media. This kid is a diehard Raider fan. This kid took time to thank me for Oaktown Legends and everything that I try to do to remember the Oakland Raiders and the Oakland fan base that made the tailgates legendary. I appreciate you, Raider Art. Hey, check it out. Go to Raider Art's YouTube channel and subscribe there. All right, let's see, we'll go. Look, this was from, I'll go to that here in a second. Also in the mailbag came the Tom Flores autograph, courtesy of Santa Maria chapter of the Black Hole. Tom Flores just going into the Hall of Fame, so that is definitely going to be a topic that we have conversation on tonight. Tom Flores in the Hall of Fame. Be sure to hit up Polo Rodriguez to get your copy of this limited edition 100 printed and signed autograph pictures. Look, I'm number 69. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Check it out. Another guest of the show tonight is Metal Cindy. So be sure you hit her up and get her posters, man. She's got patches too, pretty cool ass patches if you ask me. All right. So also speaking, this is the first autograph that I got from a player that in an event that I put together. So this is special to me. I got a few more of these left, and for everybody that ordered these, they are going out this week. This is the picture. All right, now I will get better. Like I said, that's my first one, so we'll get all that taken care of. All right, cool. We're running a little late, so we're gonna go ahead and get the Black Hole Rob and Raiderman. Raider Nation, here we go. Monday Nights Live, the Black Hole Edition, Black Hole Rob, Raiderman. Y'all, thanks for coming on the Raider Homer channel for this Black Hole Edition. Kicking off the season live here on 2021, man. I appreciate y'all.
Going on, Homer, and the street in the stands, baby.
Yeah, oh man, hey, yeah, bro, hey. And I know you're cutting class, dude, so I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Raiderman, you are known, as a caller and for the Raider Oath on Raiderhead's album. But before we get into that, tell the Raider Nation how and why you became a Raider fan.
Oh, man, long, deep history. But the short answer is, grew up as a deep A's fan. Had an auntie that was working for the Higher Regency. Always got the A's games. But I was dying to go to a Raiders game. And I would always get crap. So when I finally got my chance, man, that fire was lit. That was around 1980. And then, unfortunately, the team left. And, I had a hard situation. My mom passing. And it just ingrained the team to my heart. That was something I wasn't willing to let go. I became Rabbit. I've been Rabbit ever since. Now you know me as Raiderman.
Well, yeah, bro. And like I said, I first heard you on, of course, the Raider Oath. But then I started noticing you calling into Raider Nation Radio, man. And I was like, oh, I know that guy. So it's like, talk a little bit about how you got involved in calling into JT show, getting on Raider Head's album, and now calling into JT shows on Raider Nation Radio.
Oh, dude, you talking about a whirlwind history. It all started for me back in the Coliseum parking lot. I met a guy named Tim Del Rosario, and I used to walk the parking lots all the time, just to and fro. I was almost like a Raider nomad, if you will. That wasn't going to be I was already Raider man, but I was a Raider nomad of sorts. And I met with Tim. Tim introduced some guys. It was actually Black Hole Rob that brought me into the Black Hole. I got like an honorary initiation because I was a big mouth around the stadium. He heard my voice and brought the bullhorn down to the south end zone. I got ingrained there. Tim introduced me to Raider Rob. Raider Rob introduced me to Stoner Dude. Stoner Dude asked me to do the Oath. Was prelim on the album, and then, man, bing, bam, boom. Rob was calling me to do the Raider Oath for functions. And then when Raider Nation Radio started up, anytime I hear Raider Nation, I come running like White Walkers. You know what I mean? I'm on my way. And so I started calling in. JT was a familiar name. The station was familiar to my blood. I just got involved, man. Anything say Raiders, I'm involved.
Amen to that, man. Yeah. Dude, I try to call in. For some reason, man, I can do this. Get on here and broadcast and talk to everybody, dude. But I still get nervous calling into JT the Brick Show, man. That guy, dude, I looked up to JT. He started out as a caller like yourself, man. Became a long time, broadcaster, working for the Raiders on the sideline. Man, I wish that would happen to me. So, yeah, I mean, I know that y'all go all the way back with JT. So talk a little bit about y'all's relationship with JT.
Yeah, I'll tell you, don't be too hard on yourself. Calling's not the easiest thing in the world. I was recruited to call him by Raider Rob, to do the Raider Nation thing on the JT's overnight show. And it was a lot more hardcore. It was like 10 to 2 in the morning, 10 at night to 2 in the morning, something like that. And, it was a lot harder edge. You can get away with a lot more things, not FCC rated. But, when they crossed over into the daytime show, man, it really spawned into something else. And it opened up a lot of platforms. Really been able to just kind of spawn, who we are, off of, and it's helping to breed the family. So I try to support it any way I can, man. I'm grateful for every opportunity I get.
Hey, and Rob, I know that y'all two are a part of the Black Hole, so I guess that's how y'all met. Talk a little bit about how you met Raiderman.
Oh man, this dude is something else, man. He's got a special place in my heart. We have a special relationship. This dude, Raiderman, is something else, man. Back in the day when we was getting the Black Hole up and running and acting the fool in the end zone and having good times, man, Raiderman, was a caller. And he would hit up the JT to be here locally in the Bay. And, actually to take a step back, how we met JT way back in the day is Rob had actually brought him down to a Black Hole tailgate. And at the time, he was an up-and-coming radio talk show host. And I think he was out of San Diego at the time, Raiderman. I can't really remember. Either San Diego or LV, I'm not sure. And, down. And, we had a band out in the parking lot. Back in the day, Yeah. You remember that, man? We used to have a low-down band in the parking lot. We would just sneak a band in, bro. I mean, they had rules and regulations. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do that. We was like, F the rules, man. We're bringing a band. So we just would roll up, set up the band before anybody could shut us down. Next thing you know, it's a parking lot wide party. And so anyway, we brought JT down to one of our tailgates. The band played the Brick House song. And from then on, man, it just became a long, many-year relationship and friendship. And but during that time, then Raiderman would be on the radio a lot, pumping up his his show, supporting JT, when he got a gig here locally in the Bay. And through that's how we connected. And next thing we know, man, Raiderman and myself hit it off, became really good friends, and we're brothers here today. And just a lot of good memories in between. One of these days we'll have to tell you about all of our overnight campouts we used to do in front of the stadium and all the all the BS and fun and practical jokes we used to play on each other, man. It's been a fun ride, man. And so now we take it to a new place, a new land, and hopefully keep it going.
Amen to that, man. Now you're talking about the Lowdown band, right? That's Savage's dad's band, right?
Yeah,
Man, I did
absolutely.
not know that Saturday South
Yeah,
Grind.
yeah, yeah, Raider man. Yeah, so Savage is my cousin, man, and yeah, his mom is my cousin, and Sal was, her husband, and yeah, he had a band, man, and they used to practice in their house and get down, and then we'd bring the band out to the tailgate. Yeah, so the Lowdown band goes way back. Sal goes way back to the early days with us.
Yeah. Now, Rob, man, I'd like to thank you for what you have done for the Raider Nation. The Black Hole has always been known for working in the community. This year with COVID, it has been tough, but we still have seen TBH do turkey giveaways, Toys for Tots, working to feed the homeless, and we even see the Santa Maria chapter working with now Hall of Famer Tom Flores for his foundation. Now, this is an important question for me because I need some advice here. The question I have for you is how do you mentor, coach, and keep your chapter presidents motivated for doing so many great things in their community?
Man, it's not easy, man. When you got uh, a few people that are trying to keep everything coordinated. I mean, it takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of sacrifice. A lot of people don't know behind the scenes all the blood, sweat, and tears in terms of the struggle that it is to have a commitment to see something through. And look, man, I'll be the first to admit that we're not perfect in everything that we do, but it's always coming from a good heart, and we try our best. Personally, man, I've sacrificed my family. I've sacrificed just about everything to continue to build this thing out. I feel like I have a responsibility to see it through, and it hasn't been difficult. I've lost jobs over it. We've had financial struggles because of the fact that so many hours and so much time is committed to this thing. And a lot of people do appreciate that. Some don't. Unfortunately, those that don't, I can't help them with that. But what I can say is that we're very proud of where we're at and where we're going and all that sort of stuff. But when you talk about things for the community, man, we've always been about that. Going back to day, we used to do, toy drives and food drives for the Mother Right Foundation here in Oakland. We, be involved with Children's Hospital and just so many different things over the years. So many projects and things that we are, truly committed to. And then our chapters, people like even yourself, look, you had something this past weekend that I would love to hear about that had to do with a fundraiser. And, it's people like yourself, Homer, that truly make the whole organization something special. And a lot of our chapters are doing the same sort of thing. I mean, from Philly Mike to, JT in New York and so many others that are just constantly doing stuff for the community. Here this week, I actually have a big meeting with a group called Operation Homefront in Vegas, and what they do is they support military families, everything from medical bills to, if somebody dies in battle and the family's left without. This group is tremendous, and they support all military families and associates and so forth. So we're going to be partnering up with them for 2021 and see how we can raise awareness and raise money and do a lot of good things with Phil Martinez and his group over at Operation Homefront. So we are excited about, the future, but I would love to hear about how your thing went this weekend, man. I know that you had a fundraiser yourself, and that's tremendous work, brother.
Yeah, well, bro, I mean, I got to thank people like Polo Rodriguez, dude. He really got Ira to confirm and commit, because Ira was kind of, he didn't really know me. He'd been on the channel, but he didn't really know me. I'm a new guy. But that's what I mean. You got some great guys doing great things, backing each other up, man. I mean, I appreciate everything that everybody's done. And as far as the chapter, it was the second, the fundraiser. It was the second annual Texas Pit Crew fundraiser. And it's the first time, and I showed the autograph earlier. This is it. It's the first time that I ever put together an event. Like, I normally just buy autographs, but this is the first time that I went, and set it up and made this image and got a player to autograph it. It feels amazing, dude, to really get involved with the Raider Nation, because it's not just the fans. A lot of these players become part of the Raider Nation. Like Ira, one of the first things he said when he left was, "Hey man, I appreciate you in the Raider Nation." He showed up in his Raider jersey. He loved being a part of it. He remembered about being a Raider. It's just special doing that. And then on top of that, we're raising money because look, like I said, I've been told many a times, it's like, by the time you're 40, if you're not doing good things, something's wrong. You know what I mean? And for me, as I've said many a times on the channel, dude, I came from a troubled background, man. And so it was easy for the effed up stuff that I did, man. It was easy to do that, and what I'm learning now is it's really hard to do the good things, and but it's worth it, man, because when you talk to Texas Pit Crew, like you heard the interview, she was happy in the green room. She was thanking me for doing this because they're trying hard to commit, to these dogs and take care of these dogs and find them fosters and everything. And they just need a little bit of help, just like everybody else. And the other thing is we collect cans for the Central Texas Food Bank because, again, from my history and my experiences, man, I needed food from them before, so it means something to give back. And like I said, bro, but I've had a hard time finding a way to inspire people, man, because sometimes Raider Nation, man, they're all about having a good time and putting on a mask, and that's all good and well, but they don't want to show up when it's time to do good in the community sometimes. And it's so for me, it's like, how in the hell do you do it? But you went over that, but it felt great to do that fundraiser. And again, dude, we're gonna be doing another one next year, every year, and we got we're gonna do something for Wounded Warriors Project. I'll make the announcement now. 4 chapters or 4 clubs have confirmed here in Texas. We're gonna try to do like a softball tournament. You know what I mean? And we're working on getting a fairly well Raider Nation broadcaster to come in and call the game for us. So look, I'm looking to try to do many things for the Raider Nation and represent the Black Hole with pride and poise and a commitment to excellence.
That's awesome, brother.
I want to tag this thing with this, and Rob, I want to commend you for being able to shoot it straight right there, as best as you can. I want to try to tag in with the heart of what to do to inspire, Homer, because all of this started from just being people. It's turned into businesses, it's turned into donation drives, it's turned into charities, it's turned into a lot of good, lucrative things. And I think the main thing is to remind people to keep it on the main thing. Our relationship really blew through the roof when I had a situation where I was literally shot in the chest. And it wasn't because I was out doing bad things. It just God allowed certain things to happen to certain people. But Rob had a heart to use his resources and to just put out the field. And he ended up getting JT and George Atkinson up to my hospital room at Highland Hospital in ICU just to bring me a radio, just so Raiderman don't miss the game. Charity or real, foundations come from that kind of heart. And they get skewed when it turns into business. And it's easy to pick on people, but keep people in mind that we're about the people. It's for the fans, it's by the fans. We are Raider Nation. If we're going to stay together, it's got to be on purpose. So just remind people what they're doing it for, and that might change the effort on what they're doing it.
Yeah, dude, I mean, yeah, for the fans, by the fans. I love that, dude. And that's what I'm saying. It's like everything that I've been able to do as far as raising money for this chapter, it's gone out to, Baja Juan Raider, buying shirts from him. You know what I mean? That's Raider Nation, spending my money in the Raider Nation. The patches that we got, I went to the Raider Nation, spending my money in the Raider Nation. And it was, yes, Ira came out and helped us raise money, and we raised a good amount of money for the Texas Pit Crew. But you know what was awesome, too, though? Is that, we got to help Ira make money. Like, we're spending money, like, they talk about spending money in your community. Well, Raider Nation spend money in your nation, and because it benefits the Texas Pit Crew. It benefits the retired player. It benefits the other members of the Raider Nation that are working hard behind the scenes and need just a little bit of help, dude. So I love being a part of that, man. You should always, work in your community, do good things for your community. So, bro, like I said, I'm rambling now because I get excited about it. I'm looking forward to it.
Get fired up, Homer. Let's go, baby.
Hey man, no apology necessary, Homer. Man, dude, look. You said something right now about helping Ira, right? A lot of people don't realize that these former players have it tough, man. They're struggling. And a lot of these former players, they didn't make the big money when they played, but yet they laid the platform down on what it was to be a true Raider and everything that we fell in love with as far as loving the silver and black. And so when you see people that are former players, man, don't just think they got it. that they got it taken care of, man. They need help just like everybody else. So as they're out selling their books or their autographs, man, support it as best you can because, that's what it takes, man. And so I'm glad to hear you say that, Homer. And I I definitely commend you for that and everything Raiderman said as well.
Appreciate that. All right, cool. We got about 5 minutes. Look, man, year one in Vegas, come and gone. COVID, right? Seems like there's some light at the end of the tunnel. Vaccinations are going out. That's why Ira was able to attend safely. He got his vaccine. So, what is on the horizon for the black hole in Vegas? As long as everything works out, as far as tailgating and things like that.
Oh, brother, let me tell you, man, last year was devastating in many different facets, man. Not only with the virus peaking and on financial struggles that everybody was having, losing jobs and all sorts of things for many different people out there, but even things that you had worked really hard on to kind of put together to lay out a plan for a season, all of a sudden, all of it being squashed due to shutdowns and due to this and that and budgets of partnerships being slashed and this sort of thing. And I mean, we had all sorts of things lined up, man, from the tailgates to the events to just on and on and on. Hotels that were going to partner with us and casinos and so forth that, would be beneficial to our members and discounts and things. And it just kind of all took a crap, and so now all those conversations have reignited. It seems that, once the sun starts shining, this time of the year, it seems with that in coordination with, the vaccine that, hey, look, man, not everybody takes the vaccine or not. Personally, I don't. Many do, but everybody each his own. But the bottom line is that it definitely has shed some light in terms of things opening back up. So, we're going to be making some announcements here pretty soon. I don't want to be premature, but I can tell you, Homer, with 100% certainty that it's going to be big and it's going to be awesome for our whole organization. I will tell you now, everybody out there, man, reserve, the draft that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're going to have a whole 3-day extravaganza of stuff going on, and we're finalizing things right now. So expect some announcements coming out pretty soon on that. And then also the things we're going to be doing with Operation Homefront. And then we also are having talks with a third party that's going to be helping us to bring on local businesses to support our memberships. And thus, when you have that membership card, you slap it down and you get a discount here and a discount there. So all those sorts of things are being worked really hard on behind the scenes. And we're super close, man. We're super close. So pray for us, man. Pray that everything comes together for the beneficial of the whole organization. But that's what we're working on, and I'm excited about it. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Hey, any chance you can work a sponsorship out of that for the Raider Homer channel?
What's that?
Any chance you can work out a sponsorship for me? Just kidding, man.
Hey, man, I could do what I could do, man. I'll try, brother. I could always see what I could do in these conversations to see if they would also support some. I mean, look, man, you got a podcast. Captain Jack, our Tampa Bay president, has a podcast. I think there's a couple of others as well. It's just not coming to my mind right now at this minute. But hey, why not? So let me see what I can do, man.
I appreciate that. All right, cool. Well, we're coming up on it, y'all. I need to go ahead and get these shout-outs going, and I appreciate everything y'all have done for the Black Hole, everything y'all have done for the Raider Nation. So, Raiderman, we'll start off with you. Before we let you go, tell the Raider Nation how to find you on social media.
I'm pretty easy, man. I keep mine simple because I don't really do. I'm on, what do you call that? I call it Facebook. Facebook. I think you put my name out there. My name is Akeem Henderson. I'm easy to find. You may be able to find me under Raiderman. With all my stuff on Twitter. I think it's at Raiderman19. And, getting a decent following. I don't really know what that means. I'm not on all the IGs and all that kind of stuff yet, but if you give me some reasons, I'm liable to go. Cause I'm ready to get my business thing together, and anything that I can do to put myself in a position and not only to support the team, but to better myself in the in some positions, I really want to start doing it. I want to say real quick before this thing is over, I'm highly, highly inspired by the newest addition to the Hall of Fame, our brother Raider. Not to mention Tom Flores and Charles Woodson, but on our level, us the fans, Raider Nation is being
Yes,
recognized
sir.
what we're producing as a fan base. And that brother has stood as a pinnacle figure of this
Yes, sir.
organization from the very, very beginning. And I'm so proud. And it's opening up my mindset. You know, I call him Unc. Unc, I'm shouting out to you, man. Get in touch with me because I got to give me another one of them V57s, the blue label. And we got to sit back and chop it up so I get the game again.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let the Red Nation know how to find you on social media. Of course, I know, but just go ahead and do it.
Hey, Raider man, call me sometime this week because I want to talk to you about something, man. It has to do with the letters. It has to do with the letters TV. And so, talk to me. Talk to me this week. Give me a call, man. You guys may be seeing something pretty cool that the Black Hole could claim on its own on the tube here soon. So, just a lot of things going on, Homer.
That's a
Stay tuned.
man. That's a teaser right there.
It's
Hey, Rob, you
Yeah,
mentioned something
so
about just going to the website, right? People can communicate with you through the website, theblackhole.com, right?
yeah. They could, get in touch with me that way. Just hit up that email address there. It's all good.
All right, cool. All right, well, thanks again, fellas, man. Appreciate that. We'll find a way to get y'all back on the Raider Homer channel here pretty soon.
Hey, right on,
Sounds
Rob.
good, Homer.
Thanks, Homer. I much appreciate this opportunity, brother.
Hey, thank you for
Hey,
coming
God
on.
bless both you brothers, man, and may 2021 be a blessing to both of you and your families, man. You guys take care.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah, ditto here. And shout out to the Raider Nation, man. Y'all keep it on the one, right? I mean, we got to be family. Let's be family first. See what I'm looking at you, Homer.
All right, see you then. All right, Raider Nation, there you go. We just heard from Black Hole Rob and Raiderman. Black Hole Rob, of course, is one of the founding members of the Black Hole, and Raiderman goes all the way back to the early days as well, man. Be sure to stay tuned, right? You just heard that there's some big things coming for the Black Hole, so I'm excited to see what all that's about. Now let's take a look at the chat line. We got Demon King in here. What's up, brother? We got my daughter. Hi, baby girl. Jeremy Long is in here. What's up, Raider Scream? Big Bad Wolf, what's up, brother? Hey, what's up, Ed, man? Nothing much, just broadcasting, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. Stick around. We got plenty of more great guests coming up. All right, Killer Cut 78, what's up, brother? Corey the Raider in the house. Okay. Prez Oso Raider, what's up? Yeah, bro. It's going down in Arlington, y'all. The Black Hole, TNBC, Black Pirates, all teaming up in Arlington, Texas this year, y'all. I'll be broadcasting from there. I'll have a little setup there, a couple of canopies for the super fans to come in, cool off, grab a Modelo right before they come on the channel. We're going to have patches out there, all kinds of stuff, music going on. What we did at the second annual Texas Pit Crew is just me getting ready for the tailgate. So we're looking to have a great time up there. So make sure you come on down here to Texas, Arlington, Texas, with the Black Hole, TNBC, and the Black Pirates. Hey, and look, man, I was talking to Vic not too long ago, and we're looking to do something special for our lost brother, Ty Brown. May he rest in peace. That's another thing I'd like to talk about a little bit real quick, dude. Ty Brown, we're going to miss that guy. That dude did a lot of great things for the Raider Nation, man. He was a very strong supporter of the Raider Homer channel, so God bless you, Ty, and God bless Ty's family. All right, let's keep going. All right, so, yeah, Jason Dean, Killer Cuts, also, nothing much, brother. We're getting ready. Okay, cool. So the next caller, we got Cisco Kid and Metal Cindy for the first time. Metal Cindy's coming on for the first time, so we're going to do the basic interview. Oh, no, wait, my bad, y'all. This is Jeremy Long, and, Jeremy Long. And, Jeremy, you can get MP3 here in a second. MP. Oh, man, I'm messing this up. Here we go. All right, Raider Nation, here we are back again with Jeremy Long of the Black Hole Unleashed, the official podcast of the Black Hole. Now, dude, I gotta tell you, I'm a little jealous about that, man. A little jealous. No, I'm
A
kidding.
little jealous, man. What are you talking about,
I'm
man? We
kidding.
all
I'm
we all
kidding.
look
I'm
up to you.
kidding. Congratulations, brother. I just want to say congratulations, man. You know, I know Cisco was telling me that you worked in professional radio a little bit, right?
Yeah. Actually, worked in radio and television for a number of years. Last couple of years, working with y'all's guy JT the Brick over at Lotus Broadcasting and all of that. So, have a history of it.
Nice, man. Yeah, I was just talking about JT the Brick a little while ago, man. That dude it's awesome the story that he has. You know, starting out as a caller, working his way up to broadcasting and getting his shows, working on Raider Nation Radio now, working the Raider sideline. Man, I wish that would happen to me. That's for sure.
If some guys didn't live that charmed life, the rest of us wouldn't have anything to be envious of. So, JT is just, but that's not saying he got lucky, man. JT works his butt off. He is very, very good at what he does. He's very beloved in not only the Raider community, but he's very well respected across radio because, he's worked hard to continuously hone his craft. So JT deserves every bit of praise and every bit of accolades he gets.
Absolutely, because this is hard work, y'all. This is hard work, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, tell the Raider Nation a little bit about your history. How you became a Raider fan and why you became a Raider fan.
Well, my co-host and I, Michael Price, MP, we never shy away from the fact that we didn't grow up Raider fans. I grew up in Texas, and just, because there wasn't much else to do, Friday Night Lights and stuff like that. I grew up a Cowboys fan simply because it was my grandpa's team, but over the years, last 7 years or so, I moved to Vegas, and when they made the announcement a few years ago, it was one of those situations where you're like, okay, well, it's going to be the home team. This is finally an opportunity for me to, cheer on a home football team. And when we saw what it did when we got a brand new hockey team as far as the Vegas Golden Knights and how it really united Las Vegas and made it a sports town and things of that nature, it was kind of one of those things, man. We by chance and by luck were introduced to Cisco Kid and Black Hole Rob and these guys who just welcomed us in with open arms, and it was just a fortuitous thing, and since we've been a part of it for the better part of a year or so now with these guys, it's been an amazing ride, and we've been shown nothing but love from Raider Nation, and it's really something to look back on, and I'm looking back on it right now, just this little bit of history, and I'm just like, wow, man, I can't believe that, knowing nothing really so much about the team, only outside perspective, than, just being welcomed in the way that Raider Nation has really blown us away, and really made us kind of feel, special and feel appreciated, and more than anything else, feel like we finally have a real football home to be a part of.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, you know what? I want to thank y'all and Black Hole Rob, you, Cisco, for getting me on the first show of the Black Hole Unleashed, man. That was an honor, dude. I got to share my story and all that. I appreciate that. So
Dude, yeah, you were our very first guest.
Yeah.
You were the guy. Whenever we said like who's going to be our guest, Rob had one name on his list. He said Raider Homer, man. So that's it.
That. It took forever to get you on here, but it's all right. I'm glad Rob was thinking of me. Come on, man. I'm just playing. All right, cool. Check it out, man. Black Hole Unleashed. This is a big year, man. 8-8, dude. That's not gonna cut it, man. We want better, but there were a handful of games that we could have won to put us over that edge. So what does the team need to do, man, in order to get over that hump, man, and start winning? Because the Raider Nation deserves a winning team, and we're all tired of losing, and we're all bickering over what player's responsible for it. So what do you think we need to do to get back on top?
You know, number one, championship teams have championship mentality. You know, whenever you start scrutinizing every single player on a team sport to a level where you can't even see the good things about the guys anymore. It's only negative. You know, you can't see the breakout year that Derek Carr had. You know, you can't see the breakout years that a lot of these guys had, and the fact that a lot of them were very young guys, especially on our defense. You know, you got to change that. You got to change that mentality from top to bottom, from the front office all the way down to the coaching and everything else, man. Championship teams just have a different mentality about them, you know, and that bleeds over from the mentality over to the field and play and everything, because, you know, championship teams go out there and they take care of business. They don't, you know, barely beat teams that they're supposed to beat. They go out there and destroy these teams. You know, they don't almost lose to sorry teams. They go out there and turn those almost losses into wins, you know, and that just starts at a level where, you know, from your coaching staff, whether, you know, I know Paul Gunther kind of took a lot of heat this year and everything, his defense, and, you know, and it didn't really live up to par, and it was kind of, you know, substandard. But for the first half of the year, they were flying around, man, you know, and then somewhere after the KC game, it was almost like, you know, in a lot of people's minds, and especially in the fans' minds, you know, that first game against KC this year was the Super Bowl. That was the big game. And you saw afterwards, the team was never really the same. That fell down and fell back to earth because of that big emotional let-off. It was a big, exciting game, lots of points, and we pull it out in the end. And then it was just kind of, there was nothing else to build to. People were satisfied with that, you know, and that's a losing mentality, man. That was a game in the middle of the season. Yeah, it's KC. Yeah, it's division. Yeah, you should be pumped, but that shouldn't be the end game. You know, that shouldn't be the end, the end in sight and everything. You know, it should be, yeah, we got that one. Let's move on to the next one. Let's keep the pedal down and just keep driving on these guys. You know, let's not win by 7. Let's win by 21. Let's keep, you know, keep going for the jugular kind of thing. And so, but you saw the difference in the team. Yeah, the unit fell apart. And at the end, Coach Gruden had to make a decision, maybe as a decision that was a few weeks late. But, you know, that's what it means. You got to have that mentality. And the coaches, you know, for whatever reason, the front office believes and Coach Gruden, whether you like him or not, but Coach Gruden's got to be able to look at his coaches and go, yeah, man, this is what we have, and this is how we're going to win. And beyond with that mentality, you know, that defense, yeah, there's no sugarcoating, man. That defensive unit by the end of the year was beat up. They were banged up. They were mentally defeated. You know, especially at the end, like against the Chargers and stuff, that we should have won. And that was the difference between a winning season and a losing season. But, you know, there's hope. There's hope in that offense was incredible. That offense was freaking incredible. The 4th most points ever scored by a Raiders offense happened this past season. The 4th most. And we've had some incredible offenses over the years and everything. So, you know, we have a good offense. We have some key signings coming up, but that defense has got to, you know, we got to do something. We got to make some moves. And I know John Gruden isn't necessarily a big free agent guy, but he's not necessarily a big draft guy either. So, you know, he's got to, him and his staff have to, in this offseason, they got to hit on this draft, and they got to, you know, take some chances on some free agents that might be out there, the Richard Shermans, or if Patrick Peterson becomes available, you know, for the next couple of seasons, to give your younger guys, your Jonathan Abrams and Arnett's, and these guys, some, you know, some education, some veteran leadership to help get them over that hump and everything. So, I mean, we see what a valuable defensive player can be worth whenever J.J. Watt goes out and signs a 2-year, $31 million contract for a guy who may play 8 games this season for the Cardinals. But that veteran leadership, 3-time defensive player of the year, that goes a long way. And that's, you know, that's the kind of stuff that we need to embrace and we need to go after as the Raiders organization.
Now, you know, I think as far as the defense, we've been struggling on free agency getting these defensive players to fit in anywhere, right? Like a lot of times these defenders they can't switch between a 3-4 and a 4-3. You hear that a lot. Oh well, he's more of a 4-3 linebacker. He's more of a 3-4 linebacker. So like Littleton really struggled going from the 3-4 to the 4-3, man. So and I've been talking about it on the Only Nation podcast. I'm a little gun shy when it comes to signing free agents on the defense because I believe it is an offensive driven league, right? So you got to make sure you get the right offense. In those players, they're interchangeable, But on defense, you got to build through the draft. But we haven't quite got those guys to play. Hopefully, Gus Bradley can do that. But one free agent signing that I think I'm starting to come around to is signing Richard Sherman. But I want to see Richard Sherman at free safety in that single high cover 3. How do you feel about that move?
I would be all on board for that. Richard Sherman to a incentive-laden 2 or 3 year contract because essentially that's all you're paying him for this season, the next season, as far as physical productivity. But then again, going back to my original point, Richard Sherman has such a high football IQ, okay, that he can go in there and teach your young guys, especially your draft picks and guys like that, all his secrets and trades and, things like that, and be seen and be that veteran leadership that unit needs. It needs leadership. It needs a guy that's going to stand in those defensive huddles and say, hey, shut up, listen to me. This is what's going to go down. So having Richard Sherman, 2 or 3 year deal, incentive laden, so it doesn't, hamstring your budget and everything else, and cause you and cripple you down the road or whatever. Yeah, I could see that. Have them over the top, just ball hawking, being that last line of defense. Yeah, I could see that, man. As you warm up the next generation of draft picks or Abrams or any of those guys back there, man. I'm really starting to come around to it. At first, when I heard it, I was like, oh no, what are you talking about? But the more I hear it, the more I vision it, man, the more I'm liking that.
Well, they tried an approach similar with Burfict and Gunther, right? Of course, but Burfict, he was on a short leash, and so that didn't work out. But Richard Sherman's not necessarily on that short leash. And what I do like about that, the idea of signing Richard Sherman, is that him at free safety, he'd be able to make sure that he's right between the 2 young cornerbacks that we have, which I think Damon Arnett is tough, and he's going to play well, and Mullen is going to be a true number 1. I think with him and Gus Bradley being able to coach those guys, and especially with Sherman coaching them on the field, man, I think that would be essential because this defense has to start fast, man. I think we scored 28 points per game, but we allowed like 30 a game or something like that, man. That's not going to cut it. You got to get that down to, 20, 21 points a game allowed, But I think it starts with Richard Sherman. And then, of course, you're looking at the defensive tackle. But, again, this is where I want us to go to the draft because these, you get a lot of value out of these young players. And if you hit, you hit, right? But if you miss, then you got that value. You get those draft picks back somehow, some way. Is there anybody on the defensive line that you're eyeing in college that the Raiders may draft?
Looking at, I think what they're drafting, 17th, I believe,
yes,
somewhere down there. That young man out of the University of Miami, his name's getting thrown around a lot. I think it's Greg Russo. He's an edge rusher. We need some penetration on that defensive line. We had one of the worst as far as defensive line, as far as penetration, getting our hands on the quarterback, putting the quarterbacks on the ground, in the dirt, beating them up, getting to them, just putting hands on them in general. It was one of the worst defensive units in the entire NFL. And if you can't disrupt a quarterback's timing, if you can't disrupt their rhythms, these guys like Patrick Mahomes are going to sit back there all day and eat you up. And you even saw with younger quarterbacks, Justin Herbert, who just sat back there, had a pocket for days because there was no danger, there was no rush coming, and just got into a rhythm where it made it, we made a lot of quarterbacks look like freaking all-stars. And that's, that's not bad. Something you want. You want whenever, and I'm not saying we don't have good young parts, Max Crosby and these guys, you have some decent parts, but there's a reason why, free agents, draft picks, of certain units, you'll see they start shying away from teams. Either they don't believe in the coaching, or they don't believe in the scheme, or they don't believe in that these guys are that the team will pay, or whatever it is. You start seeing, you alluded to it, you start seeing guys, run away from a team. So maybe you do have to make a splash and use some of that cap space on a player, overpay a little bit and everything. I don't believe in it. I don't like it at all, but sometimes you have to do it. But you know what? We have a new stadium. We have a beautiful city here in Las Vegas. It's a, no state income tax kind of deal we got going on here in Nevada. So, there's a lot of attractive things about it. So if you can get the guys to believe in what Gus Bradley's going to do, and I think you can, because Gus Bradley has a track record. I think it's a good track record as far as coordination and stuff like that. I think you could do something really special, but it starts up front with those big uglies, right? If you want to move the ball down the field on offense, you got to have a good offensive line. If you want to have quarterbacks on their heels throwing picks to your secondary, well, it's got to start up front with your defensive line. And so that's where you're going to want to start. If you're going to spend any money in any high picks, right there, and if the edge rusher out of the University of Miami is still there, I would look at him, man. You need him teaming up with Crosby and some of these other guys. I think you could create some nightmares for some quarterbacks in this division.
All right, cool. Now check it out, man. The Derek Carr divide is very real in the Raider Nation, all right? Derek Carr, like you just talked about us having the best offense, fourth best offense of all time with Derek Carr and John Gruden. That's saying a lot. But a lot of people want wins. Of course, we all want wins. But a lot of people, they justify their Carr bashing with saying they want to win. And now there's this hoopla about Watson and Russell. That really irks me, man, because Derek Carr has been loyal to this fan base, loyal to this team, and puts up numbers comparable to them. He just needs that defense that we're talking about, man. So, what's your take on how the Raider Nation feels about Carr, and what's your take on these QBs using the Raiders as leverage to try to get better deals or get out of their team?
Well, as far as the quarterbacks using, the Raiders as leverage, man, that's a tale as old as time. So, hey, man, I'm not against any player going out there and get your money. Okay, and if, as the great Ric Flair said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, baby.
True,
so
that's true. That's true, man. But
so
I gotta say, man, if somebody tries to use me for leverage, and I know that they're not really trying to come to my squad, man, I'm gonna feel disrespected. You know what I mean? I am about the players, dude. But there are players that don't give a shit. All right, and then there are players like Derek Carr that do care. You know what I mean? And so, I guess it is what it is. But let's go ahead and go with your take on Derek Carr.
I totally get that. And loyalty is a short-term thing here in the NFL, man. NFL is what have you done for me lately, and that goes from season to season. In 5 years, after his playing days are over, people will turn around and look at Derek Carr and start remembering fondly his time and with the Raiders or whatever. But the NFL is year to year. If you have a shot to get even just a little bit better at a certain position, it's on the team, it's on the coaches, it's on even the fan base to kind of look around. So am I mad at Raiders fans? No, not mad because they might eye Wilson, who has a championship ring, or Watson, who might very well be the next big thing. It's I think when they come with such hate and such just venom that they start spewing stupid things to, undercut whatever you say. Carr looked great. He had a great year or whatever, and they'll, throw some stupid stat out there or something like that, or they'll say, look at his family, or look at his brother, and stuff that has nothing to do with football. That kind of stuff. I'm like, you can leave that shit at the door, man. I don't care about any of that. Well, how is the guy performing on the field? And believe me, Derek Carr wasn't the problem with this team. Okay, Derek Carr wasn't the problem. That defense is the problem. So if you're going to be mad at anyone, well, Paul Gunther's been fired, so you can't be mad at him. He's done. He lost his job. So wait and see what this unit does next season. Hopefully they have enough cap space to re-sign guys like Aguilar Darren Waller is going to cost a fortune here shortly because he's otherworldly, and you want to keep guys like that, but who's going to be that instant upgrade? I mean, and Raiders fans, I think they often forget that they play in an incredibly tough division.
Mm-hmm.
KC, Denver, Chargers, even when they're having down years. I mean, all the years the Raiders played, the Phillip Rivers-led Chargers that were so tough every single season, and the Broncos were so tough every single season. It's a tough division, man. And right now, KC is up. KC's that team to beat right now. So the focus is on beating them twice a year and not letting that be that emotional win, but letting it be a feather in the cap and move on. But if you're going to be mad at anyone, don't be mad at Derek Carr. Be mad at that defensive unit.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm so glad KC lost in that Super Bowl, man. How good did it feel to see Patrick Mahomes get slammed on the ground and his head turned upside down and his body all contorted? My God, I was so happy. I was cheering as if the Raiders had done it, man. Now, I know people are upset about Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl, but let's just put it out there, okay? Tom Brady cannot stand the guy, all right? But he is the Michael Jordan of the NFL, right? The guy is the guy. I mean, whatever, right? Let it go. What's another Super Bowl? But KC, if KC wins the Super Bowl, they got 3, we got 3. KC's got more division championships than we do. KC's got a winning record against us. You cannot let KC get a Super Bowl, man. Who are you wanting to lose in that Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah, no, I was with Tom Brady and the Bucs in the Super Bowl. I made that perfectly clear on the shows and everything else.
Yeah.
Because and it wasn't even so much my disdain for Patrick Mahomes, even though this guy, as long as he stays injury free, he's going to have a long and probably pretty stellar career. And can't hate a guy on that, but I wanted one. It was almost, to me, it was the new generations versus old school, and I'm one of those guys. I'm old enough to, know when Tom Brady wasn't even anything coming out of Michigan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So kind of that last hurrah for the old guy. Now if he comes back again, wins another one, I'm gonna be like, all right, Tom, time to go, man.
Please
we
just
get
retire
it, bro.
Already. Come on, man.
We get it. You're the greatest of all time. We get it, man. Get the hell out of here. But it's amazing too. You winning one for the old guys. The guy's not even just a couple years older than me, and he's out there winning Super Bowls. And it's amazing to see from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, and good on him. But yeah, I didn't want Casey to win. And I'm glad that Patrick Mahomes got a little
beat up,
little bit of dirt in his mouth and got beat up a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude, like that was, and honestly, that was win-win for the Raider Nation. Even though we lost to the Super Bowl in the Bucs, and I slept in the fetal position for 2 weeks, we still have more Super Bowls than the Bucs. You know what I mean? We got that claim to fame, and then we still have more over the Kansas City Chiefs, man. So that was that outcome of the Super Bowl was win-win. You know what I mean? But, yeah, man, you know what? We're coming up on if we got about 4 minutes to go, dude. So before I let you go, tell the Raider Nation where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, man. I mean, the main thing is we really hope you guys check us out. It's the Black Hole Unleashed. We stream live every Tuesday evening at 6:30 Pacific, right there on the Black Hole official main page. And I think that's facebook.com/the Black Hole Official. And you can find me and my co-host Michael Price, MP. Like I said, every week, man, we're going to bring you the best of the Black Hole in general. We highlight chapters. We bring on former players, whether they were Raiders players or not, man. We just like chopping it up with former players. And, we've had MMA champions on. We'll have some boxers on here in the future. Anyone who's a part of Raider Nation and just loves sports and chopping it up, having fun, welcome to the show. Bring in, represent who you represent, and big shout out to Cisco and Black Hole Rob, who help us put it on every single week and give us the opportunity. And we really appreciate the Black Hole. We appreciate Raider Nation for, like I said earlier, accepting us in, man, and showing us love and respect. And we're happy to represent everywhere we go.
Cool. Hey, and real quick, dude, when I go to Vegas, man, can I get some pointers from you?
Oh yeah, how to lose money? Yeah, absolutely. I'll show you all the pointers you need, man.
No, I'm talking about like equipment, for broadcasting. I see y'all's little setup over there, and I want to update mine.
Oh, I thought you meant what everyone else came here for. And I'm like, what, cocaine and hookers, man? Yeah, I can show you that.
Oh, well, if that's the case, hell yeah, we're gonna hang out.
Absolutely, man. And you're welcome anytime on the show, brother. You guys crack me up. So I can't wait to talk to you again.
All right, cool, man. Have a good one, all right?
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, Raider Nation, there you go. Jeremy Long of the Black Hole podcast. Oh my God, of the Black Hole Unleashed podcast. Jeremy Long. Please find him on social media and tune in on Tuesdays. Yeah, dude, I was the first guest on that show. It was awesome to be the first guest of that show. It's the first time I'm the first guest of any show, I think. So that's cool. Appreciate that, y'all. All right, cool. Let's hit up the chat line. Cisco Ortega, what's up, brother? Yeah, FKC, man. I've been saying that all along. Power Raider in here, man. Thanks for tuning in live on the drive home, dude. I appreciate that, man. That's what it's about. Jace White, one nation, under the football gods. Y'all, check out One Nation Under the Football Gods. Jace White's song was played on Raider Nation Radio not too long ago, man. Great rock and roll Raider song. Be sure to go to Jace White's channel and subscribe. All right, Jason Dean still in here. Anna Diaz, how you doing, fam? Sebastian Gonzalez is in here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Demon King saying he's calling out the kid from Pitt. Yeah, Demon King, I'm going to get you on some podcasts for the draft specials coming up, man. So stay tuned. All right, cool. So we got about the same guys, 10 viewers. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. I'm trying to knock the rust off right now. I've been real slow on these broadcasts, dealing with technical issues and trying to, figure out some new stuff. So bear with me as I get going again here on Monday Nights Live. All right, cool. So our next segment is Raider Homer's halftime show. Normally we had the phone blitz, but I didn't get any phone blitz calls this weekend. I'll advertise that next weekend. So what we're going to do is just move on to the halftime show and listen to Raider Nation music.
We've been battered and bruised, and we've moved and come back. Our colors don't change. We're silver and black. Commitment to excellence starts up every year. No powers on earth will drown out our cheer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of our mighty silver and black, and unto these colors for which we stand, Raider Nation under a groove, with free speech and liberty. Remember the tools. He who has ears, let him hear. I hereby declare, am a Raiders man. I am a Raiders
We the bosses of bosses. Put some respect on my name. The Raider bosses of bosses. They stay respecting my game. Sometimes I wake up at 7 and take a shot of presidente. But only with mi gente, only los jefes de jefes. We reppin' the section wherever the Raider Nation is. A great relationship with all my boys who play to win. Made some friends with some sick ass vatos like Los Molosos de Monterrey, homie, shout out Tavo. Yeah, we all bosses, like the homie Raider, my bosses. And my boy Polo was fresher than Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Some people pop lock it just like Creeper. In an all black jersey and some fresh white sneakers. Just might keep her if she a Raiderette indeed. Like how me Jefe turned the mistress of the black hole to his queen. The team, you know what it be. Tiendes, Mendes. From Cali to Vegas to Arizona, we'll present this. Living life like kings when we doing our thing. Much respect to all the compas, yep, salute to my team. We the bosses of bosses. Put some respect on my name. The Raider bosses of bosses. They stay respecting my game. If I had the chance to choose the first pick in the draft, Sanga Tom Flores, now we kicking your ass. Throwing magnificent passes from the flick of the hand. Got the defense realizing shit's hitting the fan. They need to draw up a plan, but instead they play a Pictionary. Shout out Carlitos and the Angel City Visionaries. We all legendary, props to every cruise flavor. SGV to Bakersfield with the Raider Crusaders. 2 acres of land, let's throw a festival. Porterville or San Bernardino, we grillin' vegetables. Asada pollo and some spicy ass ceviche too. Like Uncle Joe, LA Black Hole, we can have it. I'ma have a drink with Nami. We keep it crackin', some don't have no idea how much love we got for this. What up, Brianna? I see it. From here to Santa Maria, the Raider Nation keeps it blacked out. No fans allowed, and still in Vegas, it's a packed house. We black, brown, Asian, white, and all colors. Still, you know we bumpin' this in Mexico like all summer. A small number of people is who I celebrate with. So if you're with me right now, enjoy the celebration. We all class acts like the homie Mad Max. Loyalty is key, there ain't no snakes allowed in NASDAQ. Always humble, but I still know I'm a bad man. Putting on a show, no gente, let me hear those hands clap. We the bosses of bosses. Put some respect on my name. The Raider bosses of bosses. They stay respecting my game. Yeah, we all bosses. All my Raider familia. We all putting in work. Salute Big Polo, mistress of the black hole. I see y'all, it's all love. Shout out Nino and the Compton Wall. Big Vic and JoJo, all the homies from the Wrecking Crew. Javier, L.O.B., Dirty Jers, what up? Cross-Eye Face, Marty Moore, Raider Bite-Side Cheetos. All the compas, I see y'all. Of course, big shout out to the Raider homies. Stay putting it down. Big Trouble, what up, dog? Juan Baja Raider out to TJ. Hell Raider, what up? Penguin, Captain Raider. My G Gorilla Rilla. What up, Alonzo? Can't forget about the homegirls, Amanda, Darlene, Weta, Jenna, who's cracking. Everybody else showing love. What up, old Lord? Shout out Jester. Much love, Jeremy, Aaron, and Brittany. That's real love. Cynthia I.E., Mike D. Chill, what's good? Of course, my boy Lorenzo. Raider Crusaders right there. You know. Much love to everyone, y'all. El Jefe de Jefes Part 2 coming soon. So stay tuned. It's your homie Namek. Blackout. And we out. Vámonos.
All right, Raider Nation, we are back. That was Raider Homer's halftime show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying tuned. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for liking. If you haven't liked, please like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe again, man. I appreciate everybody's support. Now, you just heard the Raider Oath, and that was Raiderman's part. That was his song, so that's the song we're talking about. Then you heard the Autumn Wind done by Raiderhead. So make sure you find Raiderhead online and find Raiderman online, man. Those guys did a lot of good work in Oakland, man. Appreciate those Oaktown legends coming on the channel. All right, cool. So, hey, look, that we also heard from Namek. Namek, I appreciate you letting me play that song. Polo produced that song, so I appreciate Polo letting me play that song. Jefe de Jefes, man. Yeah, shout out to Ronnie, Sammy, Max, Polo, y'all guys. Hey, Chuck McCann, Captain Jack, all you guys have helped me. So I appreciate everything that y'all have done. Shout out to Cisco, shout out to Rob. I appreciate all this, guys. I appreciate all this Raider love. Now, let's go ahead and get to our next callers, which are Cisco Kid and Metal Cindy. Now, this is Metal Cindy's first time on the show, so we're going to do another basic interview. That's how we do it here on the Raider Homer channel. We like to world build here. Now, a lot of y'all know these guys, but some people don't. And some people might stumble over these recordings or watch these broadcasts afterwards and learn who these guys are, man. So it's important for me to bring everybody on and have them tell their stories, and then after that, boom, we just talk Raiders, and we just talk a star in the head. My bad, y'all. I'm going to work on the green screen. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and get Cisco and them on the line. All right, Raider Nation, here we go. Kicking off the second half of the show with Cisco Kid and Metal Cindy. Look, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming back on. We tried to get y'all on during the Oaktown Legends segment. We had some kind of weird echo going on, but it seems like we got that all figured out, so it's a pleasure to have you two on together.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yay.
All right, Cindy, here on the Raider Homer channel, we're all about world building, right? So we want to know why and how you became a Raider fan.
Well, runs in my blood. So yeah, a lot of my family are Raider fans. And I just, ever since a kid, football's always been really interested sport. So it's actually my favorite sport. I don't even really follow too much other sports other than football. I went to my first Raider game in 2007 and actually went dressed up. I'm very inspired by comic book girls, so I came up with my own look. I did it because, if I like something, I will represent at full heart. And of course, so I represent my team full heart. So, I really enjoy being myself with anybody, looking at me all weird and stuff like that. I feel very welcome. And hotel atmosphere is the best feeling ever, and I really miss it.
Oh, it's coming
Yeah.
back though. It's coming back. I'm a huge comic
It
book
is.
fan too. I'm a huge comic book
Yeah.
fan too. Yeah, so like for me, I've often compared the Raider Nation and the Raider Nation events to a Comic Con because that's what it is. Basically, you got the booths, you got the performers, you got the cosplaying going on, you got special guests that were in the movies as opposed to the players coming out. I mean, Raider Nation, man, is really something phenomenal if you stop and think about it. It's something, like I said, like a Comic Con, like a Renaissance festival. It's not going away. Now, there were a little bit of questions whether, what was going to happen in the superfan scene, but it's too late. You can't stop us. So, it's awesome to be a
Right.
part. Yeah, and your look is great. This half-painted face. And Darth Raider, he came on here and he talked about you being one of the original ladies to actually do that. So where did that come from?
Like I mentioned, 2007. Just naturally, you know what I mean? Like I mentioned, the whole comic thingy. I really also inspired by a lot of face paintings. I'm an artist as well, and so at first when I came to the game, it was very organic. It was like simple. It was like half face, the skull. You know what I mean? I ran into Gorilla and Raider Jerry. They're actually the first two super fans that I ran into, and they just welcomed me big arms, especially Rilla. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. He never seen anything like that. I'm like, okay. So the next time I came in, I upgraded my gear. So I just started to all together. So, I'm a musician, metal, so that's why I call myself Metal Cindy. Plus my outfit's all like full of metal and chains and all that stuff. Just inspired, like watching others, old school super fans too, I look up to them as well,
So, you were also a member of Kisser, right? So surely Kiss inspired some of that too. Me being a musician myself, I think it's awesome that Raider Nation is full of musicians. What are some of the favorite Raider Nation musicians of yours?
So I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. So what?
So you were a member of Kisser, right? So I'm sure you were also influenced by Kiss, as far as the face paint and things like that. But, Raider Nation, I'm a musician myself. I play the Autumn Wind on the guitar. That's about it. So I'm really not that much of a musician, but I used to be. But, there's a lot of musicians in Raider Nation, and that is something that's really cool to me. Your Raider Nation is so unique, like I was saying a little while ago, and so, passionate, and talented. So talk a little bit about some of your favorite Raider musicians, and maybe tell us a little bit about Kisser.
Well, the band Kisser, that band is way done. We actually broke up like years ago. The band is, this band. But I actually had jammed with a couple of like Raider musicians, like bands and stuff like that. For example, Raiderhead, at Ricky's. We actually jammed together to some Kiss tunes live. I didn't, I was not painted up or anything, but hey, I had my jersey on. And I actually, I believe 2-3 years ago, the first Las Vegas Raiders chapter invited my band out to play at their venue, which was pretty cool. So that was fun. We're all like cheered up. I actually performed as myself, Metal City, so I was singing and stuff like that. And the whole bandmates, they were all wearing their jerseys. It was fun, Hopefully one day we can go back and play more Raider little band parties like that. It was a watch party,
Cool.
I forgot the name of the sports bar, but yeah.
Yeah, playing with
Oh, that's
Raiderhead,
cool.
that would be awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, that was cool times, guys playing with them. It was fun. Ricky's, man. Good times at Ricky's. The rest in peace.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Cisco, talk a little bit about how you met Metal Cindy.
Oh, man, it was at the Black Hole Tailgate, pretty much kind of where I met mostly everybody was at our infamous tailgates, really. I don't, being on the mic and hosting and stuff, I don't really get too much time to walk around and go to the different lots and that. I think I only go over and see my boys over at Raider Rosin only because they're just a couple rows down from us. So other than that, man, I mean, that's pretty much where I've met everybody.
And then I saw you in Vegas. You did not recognize me on that.
Oh, yes, yes. I know. We were hanging out for a minute. Yeah. Well, and yeah. So I know I felt like an ass. I was like, wait. I was like, holy shit. I was like, Cindy, you're here. And yeah. So it was pretty funny. Yeah. Like the hair didn't give it away, right? I'm like, oh man, what was I thinking? Yeah.
So Cindy, a lot of the Raider Nation, especially the Oakland fan base, they've been hurting since the team moved, understandably, right? I went to Oakland and experienced, so I understand. Not that I was a dedicated traveler to Oakland, make no mistake, but I did go and learn what y'all were doing, and that's what inspired me to become, or bring the black hole, a little piece of the black hole, a little piece of Oakland home to Austin. So, how do you feel about this Vegas move? I mean, you obviously have already gone and met Cisco there, but he didn't remember you, but, eventually he did. So how do you feel about the Vegas move?
Well, to be honest, I wish it could have stayed where the Godfather left it at, but, we definitely need a new stadium, but I guess it's because they didn't want to renew the contract with the A's, Oakland A's. They didn't agree. That's from what I read. To be honest, I moved back to LA, so I'm really close to Las Vegas, so it's actually not a problem. In the beginning, I was kind of bummed out, Bay Area has no team no more, pretty much, So I'm happy, they're in Vegas, it's all good, I respect wherever they go, I will follow. So I'm only 4 hours away, so I'm not gonna complain, But yeah, it was a big bummer though. We lost a couple of people. A lot of people retired, maybe because I don't know. It's really far, and for others, we can't make it all the time. It's sad. I'm really sad that I'm not gonna get able to see everybody again.
Yeah. I mean, y'all did a whole lot together. Talk a little bit about that photo shoot for that ESPN magazine where they were covering the Raider Nation.
Which one? There's a lot.
Well, the ESPN one, I think it was with you, Wayne, Gloria, Tuzak was in there.
Okay. Oh, yes. I believe Aphrodisiac, he put that together. So, together, a couple of us to be part of, what we do outside our lives. So they're going to dress up as characters. So, they wanted to do, a little mini biography. So, it was really cool, So, they took, our crazy personalities before and after. All right, at the same time, we're regular people that have regular jobs. So
absolutely,
that was really fun. Did that one, and then also want to mention the last big interview that I did was TBH Sports. I don't know if you saw that. They flew me out to actually one of the last home games. And that was pretty awesome. So I got to go to the game for free. Which I was really excited to be there.
Yeah,
because my goal was to go to at least one game before, we left Oaktown. And I didn't attend too many games due to high prices because, goddamn, it got ridiculous expensive.
Yeah.
So.
No, I understand. Yeah, I mean, a lot of Raider Nation can't afford to attend those games. It's not, it is the way. It is what it is. It's an expensive habit being a Raider fan, right? It definitely is that. So no worries about that.
But I really, what's it called? I really wanted to attend as much games as I can. Be a season holder, but yeah, it's so expensive. They skyrocket all the prices. Hold on, either for the poor people.
Yeah. So hey, like I said earlier, that Darth Raider, he mentioned you in his first interview here on the Raider Homer channel. Talk a little bit about your relationship with Darth Raider.
Darth Raider?
Yeah.
Where is he at?
Oh no, I just he talked about you being the first one of the first females to paint your face half and half. He was really proud about what you had done. So I was just wondering, how much of interactions you had with Darth Raider.
Oh, Darth Raider. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I said Dab Raider. I'm like, who's Dab Raider?
I'm wearing a mask, so listen real closely, all right?
Oh my God. I'm like, who's that? I'm sorry.
No worries.
Oh yeah. No, Carl's really one of my good close friends. I enjoyed working with him, especially with that Nature Report interview together. That was a pretty cool time. Like whenever he has like any interviews coming up or anything big on the work, he hits me up, and I do the same too. You know, I return favors for my friends. So yeah, I know Carl for a very, very long time. Usually when I tailgate in Oakland, I always hang out with him. I'm always at the Dark Side tailgate.
Yeah.
You know, I love his whole family. They welcome me like, you know, family. And when I live closer to them, we used to like go to parties and still hang out outside. You know, the whole Raider Nation to gather up. But yeah, those are really good people. Dark Raider is actually one of my very, very cool close friends.
Yeah.
And he's a legend, man. He's been there forever.
I know.
And I give him props for being in the heat with that damn costume.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm sweating my balls off right now in this mask. I can't imagine what he went through. Him and Rilla. Oh my God.
Gorilla too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean the Oak. That's what that's why I like to hand those Oakland Oaktown Legend patches out, man. Because guys, y'all were doing some really cool shit over there, man. You know, as far as influencing multiple fan bases to do this Comic-Con type thing, podcasts, early on before, internet radio was a real thing or a big thing, music. I mean, it's great. It's fantastic. You know, Oakland did a great job. Great job.
Yeah.
All right, now Cisco. Unfortunately, we're not in Oakland anymore, man. We got you in Vegas. Everything's going down over there at Stage Door Casino, right? So, what you got on the agenda for this upcoming year? All things, of course, taking COVID into consideration.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that. We do actually have a lot of good things popping up, of course, with the things opening up slowly but surely. Rob's been in negotiations, and we've got some really, really big things. I wish I could elaborate on it, but,
you're not going to let me cross y'all up? I tried to pull a crossover on y'all.
My lips are sealed. My lips are sealed. So,
I tried, Raider Nation. I tried.
Yeah, no, I'm really juiced and excited to when I can reveal it, when Rob gives me the green light, we're going to post it and all that, but we got some really, really big things coming up that are going to excite the Raider Nation, the Black Hole family. We just can't wait. But yeah, I mean, COVID did, put a little barrier on us, and we're going to be coming back strong. I'm excited, and I can't say enough. As far as my people over at the Stage Doors, you've been there. That's our little hangout. That's our little Black Hole hangout for now. It's small, but that's our cheers. So we enjoy it. The staff treats us well, and welcomes the Black Hole, family anytime. They put them on a VIP list, and they get drink discounts and whatnot. But I mean, we're trying to do our best, and once COVID opens up and everything's back to normal, we're going to be bringing that Oaktown flavor to Vegas, like we tried to do last year. But we're definitely going to do it. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And man, I want to thank you for getting me into Stage Door, because man, it was packed and hard to get in on the home opener of last year, man. And I gotta say, I was just sitting there chilling because I was exhausted. But man, you took me over there to chill with Gorilla Rilla, man. And I'm just sitting there chilling with them, drinking beers with them. So I appreciate that, man. I don't think he knew who I was, because I always bug that guy for interviews. He's like, nah, man, I appreciate it, but I can't do it. So I didn't want to say, hey, I'm Raider Homer. You want to come on my channel?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was cool to watch the game with him for sure, man. That dude is full of energy, man. Just marching up and down the aisle, pumping everybody up, man. That guy, man, is something special.
Oh, yeah. It's even better when you have a meal with them. I'm not going to give anything away, but, man, that boy can eat. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, I got some stories of him and I in Miami, man. But I'm like, man, what is this guy? How does he put it, man? That's what I want to say. He eats like a gorilla. Now, that's no knock on him, man. But that man can eat.
Yeah, I bet, man. I mean, sweating like that, it takes a lot of energy, bro. When I did that fundraiser this weekend, bro, I was jumping up in
Hmm.
the breaks, taking the pictures and whatnot, man. I was exhausted. The stress levels of making sure that everybody was there, getting it all organized. I mean, I can imagine that he goes through something similar or even more so, in all that gear, especially living up to the reputation that he has.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. But man, he's a trooper. He's one of definitely along with Violator is one of the ambassadors of holding it down, being respectable people, always treating everybody the same. Give their shit off their back to you. Those are two great individuals, man. That I'm happy to say are my Black Hole brothers, and they represent the brand to the fullest, man.
Absolutely. And speaking of Wayne, he just got into the Ford Hall of Fans, man. The Raider Nation,
Yeah.
man, we went all in and got the man in as per requested, right? Because he deserves it. You know what I mean?
Oh
He
yeah,
was very
definitely.
thankful, man. So now he's going in, right, with Tom Flores and Charles Woodson, man. This is a big, big year for the Raider Nation in
Oh yeah,
Canton, Ohio, man. How are you
oh
feeling
yeah.
about
Very
all
cool.
that?
Man, I
Very
can't say
cool.
enough. I'm excited. I was so happy for Mr. Flores. We all know Seawood was going to be a first nominee, and if he wasn't, there was something wrong.
Right.
But definitely, speaking to Wayne afterwards, man, he just can't be thankful enough for everybody that voted. He says that to the bottom of his heart, man. He loves everybody for doing that and getting them in there, and he said it himself, man. To go in with those two individuals, man, he's speechless. He's speechless.
Yeah. Hey, and that's hard to do, right?
Oh yeah,
Because that
yeah,
man always
definitely
has some.
hard to do.
He's full of passion and ready to say something about the Raiders and the Raider Nation, man, for sure.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's he's one of my partners in what we call team keeping it tight. That was a little tagline that we came up with about I don't know 3-4 years ago. So when me, him, Gorilla, and the missus are in town, man, that's what we call each other. Team, team keeping it tight.
There you go. We were talking about Rilla earlier. We haven't talked about Senor, but I mean, those two deserve to be in the Ford Hall of Fans too, right? So we just need to get a player that to nominate those guys, right?
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. No doubt about that. For sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
So
man.
fingers crossed.
All right, cool, man. So, what about the Raiders, dude? What do we got to do to get over the hump, man? 8-8, not gonna cut it, man. Couple of games we could have won. We talked about this a little bit with Jeremy, but I want your perspective, Cisco and Cindy. What do y'all think the Raiders need to do to get over the hump? This is a big year coming up.
Cindy, I'll let you go first.
Great.
Oh man, yeah.
I'll do that. I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely the defense of the
Yeah.
game, man. This was not, last year was not our year. So hopefully this year we do really good.
Yeah. I mean, I'll admit, there was a couple games that, and that's pretty much any quarterback. They have an off game, right, or two. And I want to say, I honestly think, that Atlanta game, our offense just could not do anything, and obviously that puts our defense on the field majority of the time because we're going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And I think after that game is really when we just kind of like fell apart defensive wise, and but I'm not pointing fingers at Carr. Every quarterback has a bad game, but there's the boo birds are on Carr, and they think Winston's going to change things, Wilson's going to change things. No, man, our quarterback is who he is. He just needed some additional help, which he got this year on offense. And last year, actually, the last 2 years, he's had decent weapons to throw to, and he's definitely, has proven that. So what was holding us back is obvious, man. It was the defense. Defense,
Yeah.
just needs to be stepped up. We need that one nose tackle, just going to plug the hole in the center to free up our edge rushers, get some pass rush, get some heat put on the quarterback, and some lockdown secondary, man. We need that old school no passing zone with Mike Hayes and Lester Hayes and Von McElroy and Mike Davis. I mean, we need a backfield like that. We need a backfield like that. And we had it with with Eric Allen, Woodson. I mean, we had some great defensive players in that backfield, and we need that again. You know, I think Abram needs to, work on his technique. I mean, obviously he can hit. He's got speed. He can cover. It's just he overcovers at times. I think he's kind of like a racing dog, just waiting for that fence to pop up, and he can just take off. And sometimes he overruns plays and things like that. But work on his technique, and get some really quality corners, and we'll be back in business.
Yeah, man.
Totally right.
Go ahead, Cindy. I'm sorry.
No, I said I agree with what you said.
Okay. That defense is definitely young. Took some lumps, dealing with the complicated, from what I'm hearing, an overly complicated defensive scheme from Gunther. But,
Right.
I still kind of believe in this young squad. Mad Max, man, he got 7 sacks. Khalil Mack had 8. You know what I mean? Kwiatkowski, he wasn't, up there with all the numbers, didn't make the Pro Bowl or anything like that, but you saw that guy blowing up offensive linemen, blowing up wide receivers,
Right.
blowing up the plays, thumping people, hitting hard. So I think that, we do have some talent, especially like Mullen, dude. We're talking about Charles Woodson going into Hall of Fame, dude. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think Mullen is probably the best cornerback we've had since Charles Woodson. He's just young. Asamoah, great cornerback, don't get me wrong. Randy Hanson's been on the channel. I do not want to knock on his guy. But you know what? I mean, Asamoah, when he left Oakland, he didn't really do all that well. So I think that Trayvon Mullen is more like a Charles Woodson. That guy, you saw him jump a couple routes early on in the career, dude. He's not really always out of place. I think there was a game, I can't remember who it was, but one game last year, he got, some, questionable calls called on him. But the kid can play well, man. Abram, he's a missile. He's a missile, but you don't want to do too much. You don't want to neuter him, but you gotta aim him, right? You gotta figure out how to aim him. And then here we go with Gus Bradley. This guy has been known for coaching. The what is it, Legion of Boom and whatnot.
Legion of Boom.
Yeah. So I'm expecting him to be able to do, because they had a great linebacking core over there too. with Malcolm Smith, Bruce Irvin, and what's his name? The middle guy. I can't remember the number 54. Anyways, Irvin. But that was a 3, the same defense. So I think we have some similar linebackers, in Corey Littleton, if he can perform in the 3-4. Nick Kwiatkowski, and I'm waiting to see Tanner Muse on the outside, on the weak side. But we also have Nicholas Morrow, so I'm definitely excited to see what we can do. But yeah, I'm glad you didn't want to bash on my boy Derek Carr, man, because I got to be honest, man, I'm tired of hearing all that shit, dude. And I know if you've paid attention to my Facebook posts, there's definitely, we all want to win. Don't mistake that. But, I mean, Derek Carr wants to win. He wants to win with the Raiders. So I've always said that Derek Carr is somewhere between Brad Johnson and Rich Gannon. So for me, if I'm Mark Davis, I'm going to put on my owner's, I'm sitting in my owner's armchair, couch, or whatever, right? So what I want Mark Davis to do is really focus on the defense. But we do have young defensive talent, so it's about the coaching. But we got to get that elite defense, and hopefully that comes, because if that does, Super Bowl bound, baby.
I agree with you. That'd be nice. That would be nice.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. We're coming up on about 5 minutes left. We're going to hit the chat lines here in a second. So, Metal Cindy. Oh, wait. Metal Cindy, tell the Raider Nation how they can get a hold of this awesome poster. One of these awesome. You got 3. I bought them all from her, y'all. So, make sure you hit her up. So, tell the Raider Nation how they can get a hold of you and buy your merchandise.
I have my the Metal Cindy fan page still running. It's Metal Cindy Official. So just type it in on Facebook and that will pop up. They can just message me from there. I'm very good replying back, and if I don't, because I'm at work, because I work at the hospital, I'm a nurse, so yeah. But yeah, I'm always available to chat or answer questions for anybody and ship orders worldwide if I need to. Not a problem. But yeah, so the good news for everybody I want to share is the cases are dropping, so hopefully we have photos this year.
Yeah.
Awesome. And
that's from our hospital, so hey.
yeah, no, hey, you know, and sometime I would love to be able to try to ride a track with you sometime, you know. Homer and Cindy on the guitar. Dun 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 dun.
We
Oh,
will jam
man.
one day.
Cool.
It will happen. It will happen.
All right, Cisco, everybody knows where to find you, man, but go ahead and entertain us and tell us where we can find you on social media.
Oh man, just follow my chapter page, which is the_black_hole Las Vegas, or LV_chapter. That's my Instagram for our chapter here in Vegas, and then obviously our main page, the Black Hole Facebook page, and theblackhole.com is our website. You want to join, you want to inquire about starting a chapter or get you some Black Hole gear, it's all right there for you.
Awesome. Hey, and Metal Cindy, Raider Art is giving you a shout out. So.
Oh, tell me, say hi.
Hi, Raider Art.
Little legend. Woo-hoo. The next generation right there.
Yeah, that dude's cool, man. He's been writing me, man, and we're gonna bring him on the channel, you know. So, and his mother was a photographer, so I'm interested to hear her story and his story.
I know. It was really good to see Raider Art at the last home game. Wow, he grew. Yeah, I remember him. He was a little boy, and he was always like super like motivated, excited all the time, and that's pretty cool. His mom, on-field photographer, she's so cool. Shout out to Candy.
Well, there you go, Raider Art. All right, guys, thanks for coming on, guy and gal. Thanks for coming on the Raider Homer channel. Cindy, I'm gonna, Cisco's always coming on, but I would love to get you back on. All right, in the future, okay?
Yeah. Of course.
All right, cool. Cisco, man, thanks for putting this together. I appreciate it.
You got it, man. Anytime.
All right, cool. Have a good night, y'all.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, later.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Raider Nation, there you go. You know where to find Cisco Ortega. Find Metal Cindy, man. I'm telling y'all, look, get some of these pictures, y'all. To Raider Homer. Woo-hoo! Woo! All right, cool. Let's check out the chat line. Raider Arden here giving shout-outs. David Miguel, brother, how you doing over there in Florida, man? Hope everything's working out for you. David Miguel's a diehard Raider fan and also a broadcaster. Be sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. He worked the NBA Finals. Like he's a legit broadcaster. He's not like me. I just play a broadcaster on YouTube. But hey, follow David Miguel. All right, Oso's still in here. Anna Diaz is still in here. Heidi Stabbert finally woke up. Hey, welcome to the broadcast, Heidi. All right, cool. Power Raider still in here. Monique Robello. Let's see. Sebastian Gonzalez still in here. Jace White. He said I got great bagpipes. What do you think? One nation, one nation. Hey, sign me up, man. Let's record something. Let's do it. All right, Cisco. Okay, that's the top of it. All right, guys, look, check it out, man. We had Ira Matthews come on the channel on Saturday. Now we got John Condo coming on the channel on Monday. All right, look, man. And this is courtesy of T3 Raider Facts. So make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel. That dude is always working hard for me and Heidi. Well, not for us, but with us on the Only Nation podcast. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Find us on any of your podcasting apps, music apps, Spotify, Apples, blah, 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 blah. It's everywhere, man. Be sure to find the Only Nation podcast. I like that podcast. It's unique. It's got some fun music to it. We got fun segments. We talk about the Raider news. We bring on Raider guests, whether they're players or other broadcasters, podcasters, super fans. And then we even do like a Raider like history lesson type thing because T3's a teacher. So it's kind of cool to get educated on the Raider history. So, cool. Once again, we're going to go ahead and get John Condo. 13 years in the NFL, 10 with the Raiders. Look, I love this. I love this guy's dedication to the Raiders, man. We're gonna talk about a play that really stands out to me here in a second. So let's go ahead and get to him. Oh yeah, and so of course, go to the RaiderHomerChannel.buzzsprout.com so that you know where it is. Go ahead and save it to your bookmarks. All right, because I have interviews with several players that I'm fixing to put out there in the Raider Mythos Theater. All right, one with Randy Hansen, one with Jeremy Brigham, John Condo, Otis McKinney, Ira Matthews, Hall of Famer Tom Flores. All right, so be on the lookout at the RaiderHomerChannel.buzzsprout.com. So let's go ahead and enjoy this Raider Mythos segment with John Condo.
I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports. There's a commitment to excellence to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others. Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win. The flame that would burn brightest here is the will to win, is the will to win, is the will to win. I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports. There's a commitment to excellence to take a professional football team and give it a distinct characteristic that's different from all others. Just win. Play hard. Try not to make mistakes. But don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts.
All right, Raider Nation, here we go with Raider alumni John Condo. Now, John Condo appeared first on the Only Nation podcast, courtesy of Tom Jones, T3 Raider Facts. So please subscribe to the Only Nation podcast and give us a listen. You can hear that episode here or on the OnlyNationPodcast.com. So be sure to find us. John, thank you for joining us tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent, Raider Homer. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to get on with you and anyone, any of the boosters, anyone affiliated with the Raider Nation. I love talking to y'all, and I love spending time and just shooting the you know what.
you can cuss here, but yeah. All right, cool. So I just mentioned the Only Nation podcast, right? And before you came on, I was talking about a podcast that I do, which is called the Raider Mythos Theater, which is like, bringing on players and people that played with Al Davis. And, sharing stories with Al Davis. Now, you did talk a little bit about this on the Only Nation podcast. So, once again, Raider Nation, please go to the Only Nation podcast and check us out. But share again here on the Raider Homer channel. Take us back to the week of Al Davis passing away. And the team still has to get on the road and find a way to win to honor Al Davis. Because that's a just win, baby. And y'all were going through a tumultuous time. Y'all were dealing with the loss of y'all's owner on the road. Talk a little bit about that week.
Yeah, so, I mean, the week was a normal week. I mean, we knew, before we traveled, basically it's the beginning of that year. We knew Al, Mr. Davis was, having some issues, with his health and whatnot. And so we traveled like no other week or get on the plane, but we knew Al wasn't traveling with us, so we knew it's serious. And we go in. I think we get in Friday night, wake up Saturday morning, and that's when I just remember Coach Hugh Jackson. We're calling an emergency team meeting in the morning, which is definitely unheard of. Usually, like the first thing we do in the mornings on Saturday is special teams and physician groups. Really, team meeting we really don't get together with the team until later in the evening on Saturdays, but. So we had an emergency team meeting, so it's kind of, okay, what's going on? And then it's kind of word, started like traveling, throughout the hotel. And I just remember that sitting through that meeting, we were just all in like kind of in a daze, just hearing the news, even though like we kind of heard it already, just through the wind, basically through the hotel. But then when it was like kind of official, when Hugh just said it, broadcasted it to the team, it was just, we're all in shock. We weren't really expecting it. It's hard to, it's hard to describe like exactly how we were feeling, but it was just, here you have an icon as Mr. Davis was, not only to the Raiders, but to the NFL itself. And then, like any great person passing, it's one of them things where you know where you're at when you hear the news. And for me, I'll always remember that day just because of, the importance of how Davis was to me, being a part of the Raider organization. And after we got the news, it was, we spent the rest of the day in the hotel with some walkthroughs and more meetings. And then next day we woke up, and I just remember traveling to the stadium. I think we're all, there's a different focus, with the Raiders that day. And we all knew we weren't really talking to each other like, hey, we have to win this one for Mr. Davis. We have to win it. We weren't really like social about that. But it was kind of like an understood fact. Like, we have to win this one. Everyone was thinking that to themselves. They were going to do whatever they had to do to win the game. Whether it was for me, snapping on a punt, or whether it was for Seabass kicking a field goal, anything, defense pulling up, making plays. It was just whatever they had to do to make the plays to win the game. And I think when it came down to it, it was funny. I remember that last play of the game, or really the last drive. Houston get the ball like under a minute or so left, or there's like no way they could come and drive and score. And next thing you know, they're just driving down the field. I'm like, oh man, here we go. I don't know if we're gonna pull this one out. And then all of a sudden, it comes down to a 4th down play. We have 10 guys on the field, and Michael Huff comes up with a big interception.
Texas legend Michael Huff. Yes, man.
Yes, sir.
I remember jumping out of my seat and cheering on that. I wish I would have been able to make that game. That is one of my biggest regrets as a fan, not making that game, man, because that was a monumental, historic game.
Yes, it was.
I was excited. And, funny thing, right? You're a special teamer, of course, and you experienced that. But there was also, I think it was when Goodwin was lost at sea, right? And then on the kickoff, the bird flew down with y'all, where there was also only 10 players on the field. I mean, the Raiders have a weird little, story like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember that. That was Marquise
Goodwin, I think, right?
Yeah, no. Golly, I'm blanking on his last name. Marquise Cole, maybe. I know, but anyway, he was our guy on kickoff, and I just remember that film, that play. I think it was versus the Eagles, and that play. I just remember watching it on film. That bird flying through, flashing through, and I don't know. It is definitely, it's like once you're a Raider, you're always a Raider, and even if you're above us, looking down from heaven, I mean, the gods are with us. They're in certain plays, and it's crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, those are two special moments, in the Raider mythos. You know what I mean? Those are two special moments.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, a lot of great plays, a lot of great times with the Raiders, and I'm just fortunate that I'm able to remember most of them. And but we have film to remind me and everyone of the great times we had.
Absolutely. All right, now this is Monday Nights Live. We're kicking off the season. We do this during the off season, so this is the first episode for the 2021 season, and this is the Black Hole edition. So talk a little bit about your experiences with the Black Hole and the Raider Nation in general.
Well, my experience is I don't really have anything to compare it to, but if I did, it wouldn't come, the comparison wouldn't even sniff what the Raider Nation is all about. I spent, 90% of my career with Raiders, and the time that I spent there, I met a lot of great people, obviously a lot of great teammates, coaches, people I played for, organization, the staff and everything. But the people that, while I was there, we might not have been that great of a team, and there's a lot of turnover year after year. My friends were getting, traded or released or whatever. But the Raider Nation was always there. So the people that I met since day one, since I got there in 2006, were there when I left after the 2017 season. And I've met a lot of great people. I swear I enjoyed every single time I got an opportunity to hang out. I used to do some stuff with the Oakland Booster Club down there at Ricky's Sports Bar, Thursday nights before home games. Anytime I got the opportunity to go to hang out with them, I did it. The Commitment to Excellence Award winner ceremony, they put on a little function after the season. Anytime I got a chance to meet and hang out with the nation, I love it. I mean, it's one of them things, and I can't wait until we could get back to normal and have like tailgate and all that stuff, because I want to. I mean, obviously, I'd love to watch the Raiders play, but it's just being able to spend time with the nation. That's kind of what I'm kind of like missing the most right now about it. I miss playing football. I definitely miss my teammates and all that stuff. But just being able to spend time with the fans and telling stories and because they have a better memory than me, and they can remind me on a lot of things. Because it's there's some passionate fans there, and it's just one of them things that I'll never forget, and I'm definitely blessed and fortunate to be a part of, and I'll always cherish all those memories.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of remembering plays, the play versus the Broncos, right, where you recovered the fumble, but you got hurt. Now, that's my favorite play involving you. Now, I can understand that that's may not be your favorite play, but you put your body on the line, man. And that is definitely a perfect example of why you made the Pro Bowl twice, right? You were all out. Now, can you talk a little bit about that play? Because that play changed the game and gave the Raiders momentum.
Yep. Yeah. So it was I think it was the end of the third quarter.
Something like that, yeah.
And we were down. I mean, we kicked a couple field goals, but fortunately, I think Khalil Mack was having a unbelievable game. He sacked Brock, I think, 5 times that game.
Yeah.
So our defense was keeping us, into the game, and it was a cool game. And I just remember, we punted the ball. Marquette had a booming kick, and I was running down the field, and the returner, Emmanuel Sanders, muffed it, and it was going to be a scrum for the ball. And I just, on those situations, it's always like the low man wins. Whoever gets down to the ground and into that scrum first is likely to come out with the ball. And I just, fortunately, like I always did, I always hustled down the field, and I jumped on it. Unfortunately, a bunch of other people jumped on top of me and forced my shoulder to dislocate. And I just remember having the ball. I'm very, very blessed and fortunate that it didn't create a big pile where people were in there trying to rip it from me. It was kind of, fortunately, I think some of my teammates were on top of me, protecting me. They didn't know my shoulder was popped out. But I just remember coming up with the ball and hand it to the official, I believe, and my shoulder is out of place, and I'm like running. I'm trying to make a picture for your listeners here. So I'm running out with my right arm, and I'm like running out with my palm like facing like I want to give high fives, but like a down low high five, running off the field, and no one knew my shoulder was out, and the offense was pumped. They were running out of the field. All the offensive linemen were coming out like slapping my hand, and I'm like yelling at them like some pretty harsh words like stop it, like my arm, and but no one knew. And I finally get off the sideline, and I'm like, my shoulder's out. And they try to hurry up and put it back in, but they're like, no, we got to go in the locker room. And I just remember it took them there's at least 3 to 4 guys trying to get my shoulder back in the socket for a good 10 minutes, I would say. And I remember getting word, someone's on a walkie-talkie, hey, we just scored, and they're like, okay, like, let's kick the extra point, and then all of a sudden, like, oh crap, our backup snapper, Lee Smith at the time, had a cast on his hand.
Yep.
And so Coach Del Rio was like, we got to go for 2. We don't have any other snappers. And we were only up by 2 at the time. And we were up by 3, I think. And everyone, I think the broadcasters were like giving Del Rio shit, like just saying like, hey, like, what's he thinking? Like just kick the extra point. You're up by 4, then you make them score a touchdown to win the game. And but finally, I got my shoulder back in, went out on the sideline, and I was like, yeah, I think I can still snap. But here I had no muscle at all. I couldn't even lift my arm up. They put a harness on me. And I just remember my first practice snap on the sideline, the coaches were watching me. It actually, like, hit a player on the sideline that was sitting, like, on the cooler. And I look up, and the coaches were just, like, in shock, like oh, shit. Like, what the F are we going to do now? And I was like, hold on. Like, that's not what I got. It was, like, I just wanted to test what it would feel like. But for whatever reason, like I couldn't lift my arm, but the snapping motion didn't bother me one bit. But it was just a matter of getting my hands on the ball and being able to snap. And fortunately, I was able to do it the rest of the game. So it was crazy. It was a crazy time. I remember my last punt snap. I knew they were coming after me. It's hard to explain, but I had to, like, basically put my knee on the ground to grasp the ball because I couldn't even lift my right arm up at all. And I lost contact of the ball, and I literally had to, like, swing my whole body, like, forward just to put my right hand on the ball. And they were coming after me hard, and I don't know, I think I ended up tripping a guy just so he wouldn't block the punt, and got the punt off, we got the kicks off, and fortunately we ended up winning the game. We were the last team to beat the Broncos that year before they won the Super Bowl.
Man, hey,
so
that was a special
it's definitely
play.
It might have been your favorite play of mine or whatever, and it's probably one of my favorites because I got hurt, and I would like to think that the majority of players would have went back in, but I'm a pretty loyal person, and I felt like I had a dedication to my team, and I was doing whatever possible I had to do to continue to play, and I take that to heart. I didn't want my teammates to think I was soft or anything like that. I just wanted to continue to play.
No, man. I mean, you definitely made a mark. I mean, that was a special play. Like I said, definitely my favorite play. Because, I played for a losing team in high school, dude, and we got our heads beaten, but I played injured. I always put my body on the line for the team, dude. So to me, I was like, wow, that's a special play right there. That's a special player. And you know what? Before you even came on the Only Nation podcast, we had talked about that play before. I mean, dude, that is something that I will always remember. Because that did change the game, man. Yeah, Khalil Mack was having a great game and all this and that, but we just couldn't swing the momentum until that play.
No.
And then unfortunately, you did get hurt. But yeah, you know what? If we didn't know how important the long snapper was at that point, we did after that. Yeah, because Lee Smith, great effort, valiant effort, 100% team player. But you were a hell of a lot better.
I'll have to shoot you a text on our team photographer, Tony Gonzalez, at the time. He had like a snap by snap, probably like I don't know how fast those cameras click, but he had like a play by play, like every like tenth of a second shot of that play. So you see exactly like where my shoulder popped out. And I have it. And I'll have to take a picture of it and send it to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely be interested in seeing that. So you made the Pro Bowl twice, right? You're talking about being passionate, loyal to the team, running down there, giving it your all. You had one season, I think, where you had 10 tackles, the 7 solo, forced fumble recovery, man. Talk a little bit about, going to the Pro Bowl as a Raider, dude, because for such a long, long time, the special team players represented the Raiders in the Pro Bowl, and you were one of them, man. So what was that experience like, and how did it make you feel to represent the Raiders? Because the Raiders have legendary, special team players.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely an honor. I mean, just going to the Pro Bowl, it was a tremendous honor, just to represent the Raider to represent the Raider organization and to play in that game. and to be able to play alongside the best in the NFL at that time, I mean, it's something that I'll never forget. And just playing the game, and it's funny because when you play in the game, the winners get a certain amount of money, the losers only get half of that. And I just remember like they were putting me on every special team. I was even on some packages on defense because you only have a certain amount of players, and half the starters only play like one series, and so there's a lot of people playing a lot of reps, and so I was like probably one of the young. It was me and the other special teams player at the time. I want to say there's one Kasim Osgood. He's with the Chargers at the time. I just remember, and Josh Cribbs was the next year that I played. It was like the two of us were like the only ones like giving like 100% on all of those plays, just because hey, we wanted that money, and but we also only know how to play one way, because we're playing basically against starters. Like I remember I was on kickoff return, and here I had a block. Out of block, I started like the best linebacker in the NFC, and it was ridiculous, like having to do all that stuff. But I do know one thing: when we go there, you kind of trade some things. The equipment manager will pack you some goods, and it was right when I got there. Everyone was like, "Hey, can I trade you for your Raider helmet?" Everyone wanted the Raider helmet. And I was like, man, like I didn't know it was like that, but it's fun. It's real cool.
The best uniform in the league.
You know it.
Absolutely. Silver and black forever, man. All right, now we were just talking about some of the legendary special teamers, on the Raiders, and one of them is Sebastian Janikowski. Another is Shane Leckler, and of course we got Marquette King. And you played with all those guys, so. On the Only Nation podcast, we talk a little bit about your relationship with Leckler and Sebastian Janikowski, but talk about the similarities and the differences between Shane and Marquette King.
Okay. Well, playing with those three guys, I mean, again, probably the top three specialists that you could ever think of. One is Sebastian Janikowski, playing for as long as he did, left-footed kicker, two-time Luke Grozo Award winner. A lot of hype about him, but seriously, one of the best guys, off the field as well. When you really get to know Seabass, like he becomes family, and like I treated him, or he actually treated me like family, and I had a reciprocal relationship with him. It was we really like leaned on each other, through ups and downs throughout our career. And with Shane, going into that organization, he was making the Pro Bowls left and right, and he really made me feel comfortable being, because it was my first years with the Raiders, and here I'm supposed to snap for Shane and Seabass, and it was a little intimidating, but right away as a person, like as people, they were both like very genuine, and they accepted me right away, which gave me the confidence and made me feel comfortable to do my job. And then with Marquette, when he came in, I took it upon myself to try to teach him, what it's like to be a pro and all that stuff, and to do the right things. But he's a hard one to tame, because he did his thing, and he was probably the best to ever do his thing, because there's no punter that I ever saw that can kick as many 5-second hang times in a row, in a little short session. And he did it like with a smile on his face, and I never wanted to interrupt his flow and his swag that he had, and he brought like a little thing to our team as well, like where we felt special going out there on that field to make plays and do the right thing, and I told you I might have a little surprise for you here, Raider Homer, and I want you to well, here I'll just let say before.
The King is here.
What's up, Marquette? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Just down here in Texas, trying to make my life work out right. You know what I mean? Getting through this COVID. We had that ice storm, but me and my daughter are making it, bro.
That's cool. That's cool, man. I'm glad y'all are safe.
Yeah, man. So what you been up to, man? Like, dude, you're a fan favorite, man. We were just talking about your swag. doing the donkey dance and all that, man. I mean, I'd never seen a punter get everybody so hyped up. The Raider Nation would cheer and high five when you were doing all that, man. We miss you, bro. How you been?
I'm good, man. Just living life, creating music, and just working out hard, man. Staying ready for the next opportunity. But I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for showing love. I always show thanks to all the Raider fans and stuff, man. They show so much love, and like I always say, what I want to advertise in life, period, and what I want my mark to be on this earth is being passionate about what you do in life, what you do with work. And if you feel like you're working, then it's not fun. But if you're having fun doing it, you're not working.
Yeah. No, man, you had a lot of fun on the field, dude. Like I said, it was fantastic watching you. And
Heck yeah.
I mean, I remember watching the videos online, dude. You were kicking the ball and hitting them in the barrels and stuff like that. Where did all that come from?
Man, it was something to make my day entertaining because you got to remember, we're kicking, we're punting, we're snapping all the time. So, we just got to find something to do entertaining. So, I don't know, sometimes Condo will, place, tape on a...
Hey, and there's a lot of money involved in those games, too.
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
Steve Bass would always bring money into it. Hey, I bet you can't do this. I bet you can't do that.
Man, it was some money in those.
Yeah, it's a way to pass practice, time in practice, and we go out there and practice, do our thing, and then it's okay, we can only lift weights and run and condition so much, and we watch the team practice, but it's one way just to kill some time and have some fun doing it.
Oh yeah, man. It's always about having fun. You got to make sure that you have fun on the field and off the field because that's what it's all about, right? Just having fun.
Yep, I agree. No, big shout out to Condo though, man. For somebody to just teach me how to be a professional, how to be when it comes to handling what you had to handle to be the best you can be and be organized with doing it. He was one of the best people to ever do it. And he was actually, out of all the long snappers I've ever played with, best long snapper, period, because he taught me a lot of stuff off the field, too, as a person, just being a better me. So, hey, man.
It's tough. It's tough,
yeah,
man.
I know. Hey, I used to say, I thought he didn't like me when he first met me, too. It was so aggravating.
Nah, I knew Marquette, coming in, unbelievable leg. Best leg I've ever seen in my life. But it was just a matter of, getting his head in the right place. But, but I didn't want to take him away from his game or anything like that. Is more so anytime when he'd have a question or when something would go wrong or anything about life too. I always wanted to be that person for him to look up to or to ask questions about. Because, for someone to have a little more experience than what Marquette did in terms of, playing in the league, I wanted to pass on the knowledge that I gained, and sometimes it was tough, where, there's things, it's just tough to do, but it's just one of them things. It's a business and you gotta, there's things but we had a lot of fun doing hanging out and playing the game. And I think when Marquette came and was part of the Raiders, he definitely brought life to me. He brought life to a lot of guys on our team, especially on the special team side, and he made things fun. And I don't know, who knows if I would have played as long as I did without him. When I was having fun, that's when I had the most, that's when I was really playing. And I think when I started getting older, I started having kids, and I got, I spent my last year with the Raiders. Next year, it just wasn't really the same. And I'd like to say, it was because I wasn't on the Raiders, but honestly, I wasn't really around people I felt comfortable with. I knew a lot of people that I was playing with, with the Falcons and with the Niners in 2019. But when you spend so much time with Sebastian Janikowski and Shane Leckler and Marquette King, it's one of them things where, it's just all in all, it's just you're coming to work every day and you're having fun. And it makes life a lot easier.
Absolutely. So Marquette or Marquette, man. I think everybody debates that.
say quit.
It depends on the day. It definitely depends on the day. I'm gonna be very edited right now because I know this is Condo's interview. So like,
No. You can. This is the Red Homer channel. You can let loose, man.
Oh, so it depends. It depends on if I'm being a bitch. You know.
I don't know what that
Marquette. Marquette is when I'm being like.
Oh yeah.
Marquette is.
Oh yeah.
The aggressive, like ready to attack. So like.
No, I understand that. I understand that.
All right, then. Okay, so.
We do the same thing with Seabass. Like when Marquette or when Seabass was like, like being like not Seabass, we call him Sebastian. But when he was Seabass, he's either Seabass or Bass.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Marquette, like I was talking a little about earlier, the Raiders have had some legendary special teamers, and you guys. I mean, y'all are kind of up there, right? I mean, Condo. People remember Condo. People remember you, King. So, once a Raider, always a Raider. Talk about what being a Raider meant to you, and talk a little bit about what the Raider Nation means to you.
I think being a Raider, Raiders are just different. They got different personalities, and like they're more accepted by their fan base. I feel like the fan base didn't really care about. They weren't really. It's almost like the Raider fan base just had their own style. Everybody showed up. Dressed up. It was like a club on a Sunday, every Sunday. But I think being a Raider, it was different because our facility probably wasn't the best that we had in Oakland. But it's almost like they still had the swag. Like it was similar to when I went to college. We probably didn't have the best facility where we were, but we learned to deal with what we had. And it made us just.
We was a family. Like,
yeah,
even like the fans, like,
exactly.
like what you said. It's like everyone accepts. Like you could walk in a tailgate at a Raider game, and you could see anyone making like some financial guy making like millions of dollars, but then you can have like the bricklayer,
exactly.
or the custodian, and they come together and they're best friends,
Yeah,
and that's what the Raiders are like, is all about. Because you see people from all walks of life, and it's special.
It was like unity. Like,
yeah,
they wanted to be more unified with people that were just different. And if you were different, it didn't matter. They still was cool with you no matter who you are, how you acted, what you were like. So, like, they really appreciated that and, like, accepted people for just being different, period.
Absolutely, man. All that stems from Al Davis. We started out, this is the Raider Mythos Theater segment, which is, dedicated to sharing the memories of Al and whatnot. And, like, all that started with Al, not caring about personalities or, skin color or anything like that, right? It was about what you could do on the field for the team, and that resonates with the fan base,
Yep.
Yeah.
You give me the best who could do the job.
Exactly.
I don't care what you look like or anything. Just give me the best to do the job.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right, now, other than the other two that we mentioned, now that we got Marquette King on here, and this is for both of y'all, who are some of the standout special teamers that you all played with while on the Raiders?
You want to go first?
I'll say it's a tie between as a gunner, Tywan Jones and Cordero Patterson.
Oh yeah,
some of my favorite gunners that I've ever played with. But like I said, like Condo's. I got to name Condo because like if it wasn't for him, like my mindset would be totally different. Like it'll be totally different. Like I wouldn't be able to handle certain situations the same. So like I had somebody that was in my corner, including Coach Sealy. So like, yeah.
I mean, when you talk about special teams with the Raiders, it's one thing because there's so many great ones. Like Marquette mentioned, two great ones there, Cordero and Tywan Jones. Tywan, I mean, he's a freak. I mean, he's still playing, and to play that long, that he's playing, at that level, running down the field. Those are I can't just single out one particular guy, but you got a guy like Ike. Isaiah Ekajuba, he unbelievable talent right there, running on the field. Ricky Brown, there's so many guys. When I first got to the Raiders, Jared Cooper, like that dude, like I mean, I don't know. That guy was just unbelievable. Like, just running down, did not give a F about anything, running down the field and didn't care about his body at all. And that's what it takes to be a special teams player. Like, you got to be able to sacrifice your body because you're running full speed and either trying to run into someone or trying to tackle someone who's running full speed at you. I mean, that's kind of, I mean, yeah, you see offensive linemen and defensive linemen, they're hitting their heads every time. I mean, they're within a yard apart. But when you're running full speed, when you got a guy like, say, Tywan Jones running 4.3 40, going against a guy, running, a very similar speed, and it's just like trying to tackle each other or trying to block one another. Like, I mean, that's like a high speed. That's like a NASCAR wreck,
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like, when you really think about it, seriously.
Yeah, y'all are like automobiles running around out there.
Yeah. I mean, when you compare it, like a special teams play, it is like a, like a NASCAR and Indy wreck, compared to, like, now I don't want to down credit, other positions or anything like that, but it's just when you're saying, like, when you're running full speed at someone who is stopped and then they start to run full speed at you to block, like on a front line on a kickoff coverage versus a kickoff, or a front line of a kickoff return team versus a kickoff coverage guy, it's like, compare that, that's, like I said, that's like a NASCAR or IndyCar crash compared to like something that, like a little car accident that's like in the middle of town somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Those are high
both
speed.
Both could be deadly, but I mean, I'd rather be the accident going 15 miles per hour than going 60.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so Marquette, man, what are some of your favorite memories playing for the Raiders?
Marquette just left the room. He had to go get us some beverages.
Okay. All right, cool. Nice. Man,
sorry about that.
No, dude, no, I appreciate you bringing him on, dude. This is a special surprise.
Yeah.
So.
No, I told him, he texted me last night. We're both in Phoenix area now, and he texted me the other night. I go, yeah, come on over. He wanted to come over. He's actually first man I'd ever touch my grill besides me. So he grilled some chicken. I think he had some steaks on there. So I don't know. Like, it's tough to lend over your spatula or whatever utensils you have for your grill to another man,
Oh yeah. He must be a special friend. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It takes trust, and I trust him.
Oh yeah.
So, but I told him, I was coming on with you guys, and I go, hey, you're more welcome, come back, anytime. So he's kind of taking care of some things, and then he's like, his glass got empty, so he had to go get some more.
All right, cool. Well, once again, man, we're coming up on the end of the show, so I appreciate everything you've done, man. Would love to get you back on the channel at some point, especially on the
anytime.
Yeah, the Only Nation podcast, man. Hear from you again, and of course, Marquette, invite him to the Only Nation podcast, please. And before I let you go, man, tell the Raider Nation where they can find you on social media.
All right, man. Yeah, so I just started a new career in real estate, and I just created an Instagram page. It's john.condo. Someone already took John Condo. So it's John period or John.condo. And look for me. I plan on doing a little video with Marquette, to kind of like make a splash into the social media world. And now I'm on Twitter, at johncondo.com, but Instagram's going to be where I'm going to really try to market myself. So come follow me.
Cool. Well, good luck, man. Real estate is good business, dude. So I'm hoping that all works out for you.
I know. I appreciate it. I've grown a passion for real estate, and it's just one of them things. You make a transaction. It got my blood flowing a little bit, and I kind of got that real estate bug.
There you go. All right, cool. Well, have a good night, and tell Marquette I said thank you.
Will do. Later, Homer. I'll take care.
All right, cool. You too.
Have a good one.
You too. Be safe.
Yep, bye-bye.
Well, there you go, Raider Nation. That's why you tune in to the Raider Homer channel. You never know who's going to show up on the Raider Homer channel. All right? Special thank you to John Condo for coming on here. Kicking off, special team reference, there we go. Kicking off the first episode of Monday Nights Live 2021 with Marquette King. Dude, that was a special surprise guest, man. I hope you enjoyed that, Raider Nation. Please support those guys online. If you're in the Phoenix area, hit up John Condo and buy a house, right? You'll always be able to say, I bought a house from a Raider. All right, cool. So let's take a look at the chat line. We got Jason Dean. Man, appreciate your loyalty, brother. That means a lot to me, man. Vanessa, how you doing, girl? Hope everything's going okay. Let's see. It's all worth it. Oh, y'all talking to each other. Anna, how you doing? Power Raider still in here. Let's see. Who else we got? Heidi? Oh, man, I forgot to tell him you said hi, Heidi. He felt it in his heart. I promise you. He felt it in his heart. But I know you heard him. I know you heard me say, hey, can you come on the Only Nation podcast, Marquette King? Cool. All right, Raider Nation. I'm about to get the hell out of here. Take this mask off, drink some more whiskey, and have a good night, man. But before we get out of here, you know how we like to end the show? With the positive message from the Violator. What message do you have for the Raider Nation here and now and into the future?
Pretty simple, brother. Raider Nation, I'm speaking to you as an ambassador.